Hard to believe it's hump day already. Good morning, everyone. It's Mornings with Matt and Bob, powered by Chuy. We have but one goal each and every morning, and that's to get you to work with a smile on your face, or at least half a smile. Very minimum. I think we could do that today. But first, we have to let you know who's taking the field. Coming out of the dugout right now. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out of the bullpen. So you can match the names with the faces, with the names and the numbers and all that stuff. The man straight ahead, the hardest working man in show business, ladies and gentlemen. I think did you work out this morning?
Do I stink?
All right. No, not at all. I'm just curious. Just curious.
No, I just stink.
No, not saying that. See? Wait for your introduction. Because he is the hardest working man in show business, and he is a heavyweight champ. He's knocked guys out in the ring. Technical knockout, albeit, but a knockout nonetheless. And, well, he's our producer. Keeps the levels straight. Takes your phone calls. You'll hear him whispering in the background during the show because he's picking up the phone. Sure. Professional radio shows out there that make a lot more money. They've got a guy in another room behind glass that picks up the phone and says, "Good morning. What would you like to talk to the guys about?" But we don't have that. We got this guy. He's also a food head, a shoe head. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a head.
Doodoo head.
Put your hands together. For the incomparable Chuy Eldorado.
Thank you. I love it because it means a lot.
Now the man to my right is ready today. Now yesterday I felt like Monday Chuy was rocking the brawny man look, but the brawny man look is the plaid, the mad plaid. He's wearing the mad plaid, ladies and gentlemen.
The quicker picker up.
He's the quicker picker upper. He's a former star of episodic television, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Think of the millions of television sets of tube TVs, cathode ray tubes, CRTs that his face has been emblazoned upon over the years. And then he thought, you know what? I've conquered that. I think I'll just go on stage from coast to coast and conquer that. And then he did that for like a decade. And then he's like, well, you know what? I'm going to save radio. I can conquer that. I know it's an old art form, but, you know, I got this. And he's done it all. What hasn't he done? He's been in films, too, but I think he was in film. Weren't you in a movie with the Duplass brothers?
One of the Duplass brothers.
Which one? The good one?
What does it mean? I think they're both
Mark?
good.
There's always one brother.
I'm a Mark
better.
fan.
Oh, well, no, I was in a movie with Jay, so...
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll make sure to let him know that you don't really like him.
He's conquered. I don't think there's any other show business thing left that he hasn't conquered. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the marvelous Mr. Matt Bearden.
And let me make it pretty clear. Jay put me in his first student film.
Yeah.
The stakes were pretty low.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if he had it to do over again in another project, I think he's not looking at me. But I appreciate the nod all the less. Let me introduce the guy who will tell you to your face that you stink.
Told me.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think maybe it's just the shirt. It looks like that's a workout shirt. You're not sweating or anything. I'm just saying it looks.
I want to know if I stink.
I feel like it looks like you worked out today. You got it.
Happy you told me. Because now I can correct.
Your arms look big.
You smell. You seem kind of sweaty.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. So as long as you go down in the basement.
Got that dirty shirt on.
God almighty. You know.
I agree with you, Bob. He looks like S.
Wow.
Oh, anyway, we're introducing somebody right now. If you need to know anything about some of the world's greatest bands, including The Band, maybe some early Elton John, maybe you're into...
I'll take it to the pilot.
Maybe you're into the Raspberries. Look, he'll sit and talk to you for hours about music. He has a compendium's worth of knowledge. I don't know if I used any of those terms correctly, but
I like it.
They felt good at the moment.
I like it.
He's a father. He's a friend. He's a non-faltering, and he's cool, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
That's the important part. He's cool, Bob.
He used to be.
Member of the Texas Radio Hall of Fame. He's a winner of an Alliance for Women in Media Award. He's a winner of multiple awards, including the coveted Cactus Prior Award.
I do have
in the
that.
building.
Now, that I'm proud of.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Fonseca.
Oh, thank you very much, Matt Beard. Thank you very much. Where's my little... You don't put your little seat cushion. Who gave us these seat cushions, by the way? These orthopedic...
Matt Sainer.
Oh, yeah. We got to get together with
Good
him again
friend
and
of ours.
have a lunch again. That dude, I like that guy.
Said he might bring in some food or something.
I like that guy.
He's a good guy to know. I think he wants to get to know you, network with you,
Well,
he knows you rub elbows with.
I would like to network with him.
With elbowy people.
He seems like a kind of guy that I could...
Yeah, you pack yours away every day. Why?
Because this is my cushion. I don't
So
want
the
other-
ladies don't come and smell it?
I don't
Is that
want,
what's happening?
I don't want other people sitting on it.
Who? I feel like a real safe bet is that a thing that your ass is on for 4 hours a day is not something someone's coming to steal.
You know I take care of my stuff for the most part.
And his ass.
I mean, you might come over to my house on an odd day when things aren't organized or whatever, but I put things back. I keep if I buy something, I keep the original box. I have boxes with just boxes.
You
in
have
them.
all your iPhone boxes
in
right
storage.
Yeah, dude, it's so uncomfortable in case he returns something. He has a Jennifer box at home.
now? No.
Yeah.
You still have
Just
the
in case.
receipt?
Just
Just
in
in case
case.
it doesn't work out.
He's
You
got
don't
a
have your
giant.
receipt. You only get store credit.
It's in the garage. It's just standing up against the wall, and
in case it doesn't work out.
it's got like a pink writing on it. It says Jennifer.
Yeah.
The big cellophane
Barbie
window.
box.
Yeah. It's
got
very
cellophane
uncomfortable.
on the front.
Very uncomfortable when I came over, and I was like, "What's
Wait,
that?"
I
And
had
he's
to
like,
put
"Oh,
a
that's the
twist
box."
tie around her waist to hold her in. No, I just don't want anybody else. I'm afraid. Everything in this building disappears if you don't lock it down. Right?
You mean like your employment?
Well, like your headphones or whatever. You can't leave a good set of headphones around. They'd be gone in 60 seconds. And sometimes you go, "Where's that? Somebody sent me this package or whatever. Where did it? I never got it."
Nah, we don't have as many people to steal.
Like look at all the laminates and credentials I've had taken since I became a rock reporter.
Yeah.
People don't care.
Speaking of, we need
They
more
think it's
taboo
theirs.
sex toys.
Okay.
I think we're running low.
Which
Wow, that is weird. What made you think? Let's go to that.
we
What
know.
made
Things
you
getting
think we know.
stolen.
Let's wait a minute. How did we make that leap from
'Cause sometimes
seat
I would-
cushions to sex toys?
The stealing.
Before 7:00. Oh, the stealing. Yeah.
Because I think we've all stolen something from that box.
Yeah, we caught the thief. We know. We've mitigated some.
And
of
I
the,
like
some
sometimes
of
when
the shrinkage.
sometimes the employees will be like, "Hey, you mind if I have one of them
what
things from the
all's
box?"
what all's in there right now?
There isn't much. There's a
Furry
couple of
handcuffs.
big things that I don't know would take in, I think are for experts. Expert level stuff.
Expert. A baby can get through there, dude. That's all I'm saying. So it's still
Expert.
No
level.
one's... Oh, never mind.
no one's what.
Shoved it back in.
Wait, you think that Wahina only opens up from one side?
I'm sure it can endure a ton of different things. I've seen it.
I don't even know what we're talking about right now, but
There's a couple of massive.
those, yeah. We got to be careful because I don't
just
even
saying
know.
there's a couple
Yeah,
of
we can't
dongs
talk
in there
about this.
that I'm surprised
They
Chris, our security guard, isn't carrying around to take out criminals as
Hey.
they approach the building.
Like a
might be.
blackjack.
He might
Is that
be.
the pink? It's a pink jack.
They've got a couple in there that when you see them, you're like, "Ooh, that must be."
yeah.
I bet it says for novelty use only on the box or something.
Chris might say, "Oh, well, they got the average size here. They just got the average ones. All right."
Oh, that's cute.
Oh man. Bob,
Bob,
where'd you go?
where'd you go, Bob?
Right here, just checking my mail, just checking in.
You know,
all my-
anytime you talk about a plastic penis,
All my
he gets
system-
real
I'm not
quiet.
into that stuff.
He gets real quiet when you talk about plastic
It doesn't-
penises.
it's like so high school.
They cannot come after you. They can't come after you.
What's high school?
It's just kind of high school.
These are love aids.
Are they really? Is
So
it
you
really?
think-
If you need one of those, is it really love at that point?
Wow, dude.
Whoa.
Toxic Tuesday.
Okay.
That's going to be our next Toxic Tuesday. Is going
I've
to be
never
about
needed
phone
one.
or toys.
That
It's
is-
not about needing it. And it's not about just like assistance or something. It's spicing things up.
You don't have an imagination?
Sometimes she doesn't want to hold her hands up to your nipples and do this. You get clamps.
I don't know what you're talking about right now. I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
I feel bad. You missed out on so much, man.
Yeah, haven't you? Missed out.
Sometimes she doesn't want to put her thumb. You get plugs. Look at him shaking his head. I wish we had video on this right now. What?
Hang on, I got to check my mail and stuff. You keep talking. Keep doing your childish high school talk.
I want you to know that they're a sponsor. I wonder if I should bring that up right now.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
All their stuff is mature.
That's fine.
How does that make you feel?
I think we should have. Look at
dumb.
Hey, look, that's yours. That's literally your skin tone. Why are you?
That actually is your skin tone.
Do you realize that he won't touch it to move it? He's just like.
How far off is your color?
Do you feel like if you touch that's the same as touching another man?
Yeah, because I was brought up right.
What is it?
My dad wouldn't even let me play with G.I. Joes. I don't think he'd want me holding
That is not a G.I. Joe.
Ding dong. Or whatever that is.
Oh, look, this one's got a little hair stuck to it, just like that. Talk about authentic.
Wait a minute, I didn't even know where I was going.
I know where we're going. We need to bring somebody in here, a psychologist or something, to talk to Bob about his.
I'm fine. My sexual health is fine.
No one's questioning any of that. We're talking about.
Add up your escapades, and I'll double it. But between both of you.
Stop. I'm the one putting together an orgy this year.
Hey, Bob, what's this look like?
But that's one. That's like.
Hey, Bob, what's this look like?
You've had more?
God Almighty, man! You have a fascination with
teasing you and making you uncomfortable. That is absolutely 100%.
Cigars. You have a fascination with pork cigars, dude. I don't know what it is. I've noticed that in your stand up and in your humor. You just have this thing where you just like, where does that come from?
It's from living life. There's 3 pork cigars in here at all times.
I live my life.
What does that sound like?
It sounds like a pork cigar.
Sounds like a judge wanting to order in this court.
Why have I never heard the term pork cigar? Where is
I think
that
when we were in high school, like, hey, man.
Is that London?
You want to smoke the pork cigar?
Wait, you'd say that to your other dude friends?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why maybe that's what's going on. Let's cleanse your palate, okay? We'll just think about girls now.
We do love girls.
Yeah, dude. Bob's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one goes out to all the pork cigars out there.
Well, thank you to that crew of motley gentlemen. Hey, give me a couple seconds here to tell you about Airco Austin. And then I'm going to tell you about all the good things that sex can do for you. And we're going to watch Bob Fonseca squirm. Woo! All right, Bobby McGee, I got this one pulled up just for you, okay?
Go ahead.
Okay. 8 ways sex is great for improving your health.
Man, you don't have to tell me. Look at me. People think I'm 45. I don't need any adrenochrome. Just give me...
Adrenabone.
Go ahead.
Are you looking for one activity that can improve your health, both mentally and physically? According to a considerable and growing body of research, and growing chunk of sexual activity is good for you in a variety of ways.
Cleans out the pipes, for one thing.
Studies have found a wide range of better physiological and psychological health effects associated specifically with diving board to Wahina intercourse.
Okay.
All right.
So you obviously can only get better with a little DP, you know what I'm saying? Right?
Yep.
Love Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
Other sexual activities still have benefits. Condom use seems to impair some of the benefits of intercourse.
I'll say.
There's a little sensitivity.
My goodness. So I feel like this study just came right out and was just like, hey, how can we help young boys?
Who was this written by? Some 24-year-old guy?
I know, just like, hey, condoms are no good and you need to do it more. Let's look at all the benefits. Sex is good for your immune system. Research shows that people who have sex 1 to 2 times per week have more type A antibodies in their saliva. They help prevent illness and may defend against human papilloma virus.
It's kind of like jumping into a sexual ball pit. You're getting just a little bit of other people's viruses or whatever, and it makes you stronger.
Having sex prevents HPV? I'm trying to understand exactly what
I
that
don't
is
know.
saying.
I don't know about that. I don't
By
know.
having more and more sex, your body is producing more of these natural antibodies in your saliva.
It has to.
It can help prevent because
So it doesn't kill you.
When you're doing this, then that's in your saliva, and then it's going to help fend off some of that.
But if you do too much of that,
Okay.
Well, no place in the study that they say you should be having sex with multiple people. They said sex once or twice a week. Did both of you just imagine that different people every time?
yeah, I usually
I mean,
imagine
I
differently.
was.
Okay. Yeah, no, you can be with one partner and have sex twice a week.
Look, it's not going to stop me. Michael Douglas said how he got his throat cancer. It's not going to stop me.
I was going down on the muffin.
Ugh. That sounds nasty what Michael Douglas says.
The thing is, I love pleasuring ladies with my tongue.
Get out of here, Michael Douglas.
Get out of here, Gordon Gecko.
No one invited
Sex improves sleep.
Yeah.
An orgasm causes the release of a hormone called oxytocin, which can help you fall asleep and experience deep, restorative sleep.
Is that
So,
different? That's
I would
different
like
than what's
an
in
apology.
Turkey, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
you. That's tryptophan.
Yeah.
What's
but-
the difference? What would happen if you had tryptophan and oxytocin
I don't
at the
know. I
same
have
time?
gravy in both of them.
I don't know. Yeah. Why are you having sex with a turkey? More restful sleep also supports your immune system. Here's the thing, though. Can we get this study out there so that ladies stop getting mad?
I've never seen him get mad.
They do sometimes when you fall asleep too fast.
That's the best part. Oh, that's my favorite.
Well, I think you think the problem is you're supposed to climb off first.
Oh.
Hey, wake up! Oh, is the sandwich ready? When asked about sex and how it affects their sleep, most people say they sleep better after having a toe tingling O.
Yeah.
So there you go. Sex
If
enhances.
she's still awake, you know
Wait,
why.
is the toe curling or is it just tingling? Because if it's just tingling, you didn't
You didn't curl
go
and
far
tingle.
enough.
Sex enhances heart health. Study indicates
Well,
that
yeah, it's a workout.
women who have sex frequently are less likely to experience cardiovascular disease.
That's what I'm saying. It gets the blood going and cleans out the pipes a little bit.
Sex can improve endurance. Tends to be associated with more healthful eating. Unexpectedly, the same study warns that men who experience heart disease symptoms should speak to their physician about their risk for cardiac events during sex.
Dang.
Take that risk, right?
Yeah.
Take it.
You take it. That's how you want to die, anyway. I mean, it's unfortunate for her.
There are some,
Right.
There is some evidence to suggest that more sexual activity reduces stroke and heart disease. Well, we all know why I had a stroke then.
Oh, no, that's so sad. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Eat some green beans or something.
Sex burns calories. It's moderate exercise. It's the same as climbing stairs or a brisk walk. Really? Well, how come I'm allowed to climb stairs at a kid's school, but I'm not allowed to? It isn't enough to meet the exercise recommendations of the American Heart Association, however, which are 100.
What do they know?
Well, they want 150 minutes of aerobic exercise per week. And you're supposed to weight train twice a week.
Is a step this? Well, see, I can't say this on
Just say
public
it.
radio. Is calorically is a step equal to a
Pump?
like
No.
10,000 steps? You're supposed to do 10,000 steps a day.
Right. Well, here's what I will say. Sex can burn 5 calories per minute. In other words, sex burns 1 calorie for most men.
I see what you did there.
You did?
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing, though. Watching television, that burns like half that amount of calories.
I know. Yeah.
Oh. Then I'm going to do it during Suddenly Susan.
Sex
Boom. Double the cows.
Sex can decrease pain. Research shows that the release of endorphins, hormones, endorphins, that's the hormones that suppress pain, That comes along with sex. Stimulating a vagina has been found to block chronic back and leg pain.
Actually,
Now here, Bob, I want you to listen to this.
listen, Bob.
Women report that self-stimulation, in other words,
He's fascinated.
Look at
with
that.
it.
That looks like a wiener too. It's just an L.
in other words, going to Taboo, grabbing up some stuff, that can relieve cramps, arthritis, and headaches. Now, I want you to look a lady in her eye and tell her she doesn't deserve to relieve a little bit of her own pain and stress. Say it.
Huh?
Say it.
Say it.
Sex may also reduce the risk for prostate cancer. It can raise self-esteem. And last but not least, it reduces stress. It's a good stress reliever. It helps affect the cortisol in your body.
We're not saying it's a cure-all, but
I will say this: if you're looking to use if you're looking for sex to relieve your stress, you're going to want to wear a condom or make sure you pull out or whatever, because if you don't know her that
very
well,
stressful next morning.
it can be very stressful. And it can be stressful for weeks sometimes while you're sitting around waiting, looking for those digits to appear on your phone. You're like, oh, here's the call. And she's like, hey.
Even more stressful in Texas now.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is today's Click, Click, Boom.
Nice. That was informative and
Like it?
entertaining.
My favorite.
Yeah.
All right, Chuy, did you get messed up by the study that, speaking of this last little thing we're looking at, you get messed up by that study yesterday that came out that intermittent fasting could lead to you dying from a heart attack?
And I never know with studies because every year it's something different. And this one concerns me because it affects your heart.
Fat's good for you. Fat's not good for you.
Right. Eggs are good. Eggs are bad. Eggs are good.
There's a good cholesterol.
Coffee bad,
Did they
coffee
tell
good.
us when we were younger there's a good and a bad cholesterol? No. They said it was all bad.
Well, one of the issues sometimes is that studies actually don't make moral claims. Studies just give you the evidence or what their findings are. And then sometimes when it's then translated through someone who's got to write an article, people miss the difference between causation and correlation, right? Mm-hmm. Like some people fasting may be fasting because they're trying to quickly reduce their weight because they found out they have heart disease. And then they die of a heart attack. Does that mean that the fasting caused the heart attack?
No. That's correct. They never have all of the variables in any study whatsoever.
No, they still get paid, though. They still get paid for the study.
But luckily, I don't really intermittent fast. I fasted all day yesterday and didn't eat until this morning.
I think you're better off. The study actually said
36 hours.
It said that it appeared that people who follow a 16-8 fast, meaning kind of every day restrict their eating to an 8-hour window.
That's okay.
They appear to have an increased risk of heart.
Oh, really?
failure. Yeah.
I did not know that.
But are those people exercising?
Right.
Do those people have a normal,
We don't know.
healthy diet? Do they eat egg whites like I did this morning?
God, egg whites are gross, dude.
They're terrible.
They're really terrible. Eggs are no good without
You
the
put a
yellow.
little lean chorizo and salsa in there, homemade salsa.
Why, out of curiosity, why are you removing the egg yellow and then backfilling
What's
it
wrong
with
with
chorizo?
the? Yeah, what's wrong with the?
Well, you got to supplement somehow. I mean, and the little chorizo's only 3 grams of fat.
Well, how much fat is in a yellow?
Like almost, I don't know, 5. I don't know.
You don't know.
And there's a
You're
lot more
making that up.
cholesterol in the yolks too, and my cholesterol is high, so that's another reason for the egg whites.
Okay.
Everything about you is high, dude.
But I don't know.
Study's participant pool was diverse, including roughly equal numbers of men and women, but had a significant majority identifying as non-Hispanic whites. Well, if they're anything like egg whites, they're lower in cholesterol.
So, are we going to find out things? I guess maybe because I don't believe any of that study simply because we don't know enough about these people when they're. But it is scary to me. But are we going to find out things about the Ozempic people? At some
Well,
point?
right now,
Or
the
is that-
studies coming out that we're being able to see are the ones generally are funded by Ozempic. Though it does seem to, it really did, the leading indicators do seem to suggest that Ozempic it may be very, I don't want to say very good for people.
What was it invented for? I forget. It wasn't invented for
Diabetes.
weight. loss.
It has to do with blood sugar.
Okay.
It helps to control blood sugar, but they're finding that there are other benefits as well. And it could be really good for people.
Can you microdose that?
When I say really good, it has some negative side effects and such, but you have to weigh these negative side effects of being overweight with the negative side effects of taking Ozempic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you got to choose your poison pretty much. But
yeah, what's interesting is I just read another study like a week ago or so. God, I have the most boring reading habits when I was going to
That's okay, because I like hearing about the study.
There was a study out of Harvard they did where they took a large group of people and they restricted them to no food for 7 days, a 7-day fast. Now,
let's do it, Bob.
Well, I'm afraid to talk about it because I don't want you fast. Because the one thing it said over and over again in the study is people were having their blood pressure taken like every 20 minutes in this study. Even when they were asleep and stuff, they were constantly being monitored. And most people don't have the ability to do that. So I don't want to have people going out there and fasting for a week. But they only had water. But the benefits, what they're saying, from their studies, they're saying, look, the benefits that we talk about intermittent fasting, they don't even really start to show up until 72 hours. So any kind of fasting you're doing less than 72 hours it's really not doing much for you.
I feel a lot better when I do my 36-hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just simple as all the bread or bull that I've eaten.
Right.
All the inflammation goes down.
Right. So
your intestines a break.
That may be different than fasting. It may just be the fact that you don't have sugar in your body for a little bit and you've cleared it.
And probably sodium.
Yeah. What they're saying is there are really good hormones that are released and affect things like your positivity, your depression levels, all that for these people who got to 7 days. They said they started seeing massive effects at around just after 72 hours. But they did the study with multiple groups of people. They said they do not see really good help from fasting before 72 hours. So
I've even heard crazier things where, like, after that 7th day, or maybe a little further, where stem cells start to show up.
Well, they're saying that there was some amazing things that they saw with the blood-brain barrier. And
problem is how you get over that hump, though. That's something about day 3.
Well,
I think
where
you forget about it.
You just, like, all of a sudden, man, you just
I think it's less
heavy
about that.
cravings, and
I think it's well. They did say that people's
got to break through the wall.
kind of age reduced after that too. That a lot of chemicals and stuff that we release basically would clean out through the body. People said they saw remarkable change, but
in the de-aging process.
What I'm worried about is you start putting studies out there like that, and a bunch of people start trying to go 7 days without eating, unmonitored, and the risk for having atrial fibrillation and strokes and all that goes way up because it affects your blood pressure as well when you're doing all this. Mm-hmm. They were being monitored and given. They were literally the amount of water they were being given was registered to what their blood pressure was at the time, things like that. So this was a very controlled study.
I can't speak for anybody else.
I don't know that in the future they're going to say, "Hey, we need to all." But I think what they can do is they can find out what these chemical processes are, and they may be able to mimic them in other ways.
I've had high blood pressure since I was like 14 or 13. Like I think it's a combination.
Even your blood pressure smokes weed?
I think it's either a combination of probably inner anxiety or internalized anxiety combined with obviously all the salty foods and diet. But fasting really, I think, has really helped in a lot of different ways. And I used to run on a fast when I was younger. It just feels a little better at the end of the day. But if you have diabetes or anything like that, then I wouldn't try it. But it's helped my blood pressure go down and regulate.
Has it?
Yeah. Because, I mean, if people are like me, if you're eating some hot Cheetos, which you need to stop.
By the way, we're out of snacks in this room.
I almost went yesterday to go get us a bunch of...
It's not up to us to buy our snacks.
Wow.
It's up to the fans.
Fire them up.
To buy our
Fire
snacks.
them up. Fire
because they love us.
Fire them up.
And I don't know what it is and why they forsake us sometimes during the year. But that's the one way you can show love for this show.
Somebody
is not only to
snack hungry.
Not only to listen,
yeah,
not only to listen longer, but to keep our cupboards.
Did you stop at McDonald's this morning and get your biscuit and throw the rest out the window?
No, I had a Lavazza coffee that I packed myself. I take old Nespresso. I take used Nespresso cups, fill it with my own coffee. I have this system. I have this machine that does it, that seals them. Then I seal it and I make it because I like Lavazza.
But you can't get.
I don't
a
like
snack.
Starbucks.
You
I
can't
want
bring a snack
Lavazza.
in.
Huh?
But all you had was a little coffee this morning?
Yeah, that's all.
That's why that's what's happening. Look at his body language.
I need an Oreo and I need it stacked.
Look, he's got his arms crossed. I don't even have the dong out anymore. I put it back away in the cabinet. He
put it back in his backpack.
All right.
He's still got body language that
Cookie
says,
Greg,
"Don't come at me."
like what?
We'll get you some fat
Where-
boy.
Hey, leave Cookie Greg alone. That guy is already busting his ass overnights at Walmart. He still takes the trip here to bring it. He's an untouchable. He's already done good things for us.
He's done good thing. He's a made man.
What kind of cookies you want,
he's a
fat boy?
mean-
You know who that?
Oh, man. You want to do it? Can we do a song?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Rock and roll news is next. Don't go anywhere.
Don't you do it.
I report the news. That's what I do.
It's Bob Fonseca's Rock and Roll
You
News.
caught me off guard, Chuy. I didn't even get to do my little billboard thing at the top. I was going to say, tours, and more tours. We've got them. We've got them for you. The Rock and Roll News is here. Hey, I'm Rock's last great reporter, and I'm here to bring you all the headlines in the Rock and Roll News. You don't need Crawdaddy or Rolling Stone or Tiger Beat or any of those magazines to get your rock and roll news. You just keep it tuned right here because I'm here through exclusive contract with KLBJ through the remainder of the year and maybe even beyond to bring you the rock and roll news. And I'm so happy to do that for you. I've curated a list of stories now. Where the holidays are over, long gone. We're almost at the end of Q1 already. And I know that sounds like a business term, but don't you for a minute think that rock and roll isn't big business, because it is. It's big business. And the tours are hitting the road. And I've got lots to report. And I've got a Rock and Roll News Junior coming up, too, for the kids on the way to the dropout zone. You're not going to want to miss it. So, where do we start? Well, we just ran an ad just a few minutes ago for Jeff Lynne.
Love
and
Jeff Lynne.
Lynne's ELO, which is not. And we talked about rock and roll being a business. Now, there was the Electric Light Orchestra, all right, which Jeff Lynne created and fronted. Now, Jeff Lynne is a fantastic musician and producer who's worked with all of the Beatles almost
The very best.
individually and was one of the traveling Wilburys, but he created a band called ELO out of Birmingham, England. A lot of great bands came out of Birmingham, and ELO was one of them.
That's right.
Now, that was Electric Light Orchestra. Then later, Jeff Lynne created Jeff Lynne's ELO, which was contractually a little different than Electric. He couldn't call it Electric Light Orchestra because there were other members of Electric Light Orchestra.
He had to call
involved.
it Jeff Lynne's
He was
ELO?
also, before he was in an ELO, and I know I'm not even reading this just off the top of my head because I know this stuff, he was in a band called Wizard with Roy Wood. And I think Roy Wood was in the very first, and he may still own, Roy Wood may have some ownership in ELO. He was on the first album or two, but left the band soon after. But anyway, Jeff Lynne's ELO going out for their last tour and coming to the Enormo Dome. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That dude's a great pop rock producer.
Maybe I can help you find tickets to...
Please do. I'll talk to Johnny Rude, though, probably. Yeah, I think he'll hook me up. The Pretenders are announcing their 2024 solo U.S. tour date. What does that mean, solo?
I don't know.
It's the Pretenders, so they're a band, but sometimes Chrissy Hine goes out solo. They'll hit the road hard this year, beginning with a string of solo U.S. tour dates that begin. Maybe it means they're not going out with another band. Sometimes bands go out together now and do a package deal. They're gonna start touring around July 13th in Red Bank, New Jersey. Who's from Red Bank, New Jersey? I'll give you a.
I don't think I've ever heard of Red Bank.
I'll give you $1,000 if you tell me who's from Red Bank, New Jersey, Chuy.
Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, shoot. You were so close. Clarence Clements
Yeah,
from
you idiot.
the E Street Band. You were so close to
I was right there.
$1,000, dude.
You wouldn't have given it to me.
I got it in the car.
Well, I was going to say, Clarence, what's the constellation?
No, you didn't
I have
say
a
it.
shot at
You
it?
were one person away from $1,000, dude. Clarence Clements from Red Bank, New Jersey. He had a band called Clarence Clements and the Red Bank Rockers. Anyway, she's going to start there. They're going to go to Philadelphia, Chicago, San Francisco, and a lot more. Fan pre-sale will launch on March 1. They're so good.
The best.
They are the best. Love me some Pretenders. And I've had the opportunity to see them on a few occasions, and they always knock it out. They just knock it out of the park, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, who else is going on tour? Kansas. Let's do a little Kansas, shall we? Let's bring it.
Sure.
Can you bring the music down?
Carry
in the background?
on my
No, I don't like that one. Let's do it.
wayward
No. That one's okay, but
I've been through the desert.
no.
Oh, wait.
That's America.
Dust in the wind.
All we are is dust in the wind. Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kansas
Nailed every
bring
note,
the music
didn't we?
back up. All we are. Okay, Kansas extending.
I close my eyes.
Now I gotta take my hat off to Kansas because they're not calling this a farewell tour. They don't need to. They don't need to try to sell tickets with some kind of sensational clickbaity headline that they're giving up. They're just saying, hey man, this is our 50th anniversary and we're going out on tour. Right?
Right.
Carry on. Maybe they should carry on.
Oh.
The Carry On special?
They're extending their 50th anniversary tour again with 23 shows. They can't stop.
Yeah, I like how all these people have anniversary shows and final shows or whatever, and then they just keep it going when the money's... People like money.
They can't stop. I wonder what else they play. I only know those two songs.
Dust in the Wind was a song that I loved as a kid.
Yeah, I had that album. It had a ship on it. It had an old, like a cutter, like the Cuddy Sark.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I think probably what Kansas, the state, is best known for are its ocean-faring vessels.
Yeah.
Because of geography and all,
Right.
you know?
Right. They had that whole thing locked in, that whole vibe. I don't know.
Only
Anyway,
for a moment.
I told you yesterday that my prediction from 6 months ago came true, that the Eagles will be the next band to land in the Sphere. So we have that to look forward to in Las Vegas. Of course, Bruce Springsteen last night. I should have been there. I was supposed to go to the original Phoenix show, but that got postponed last year. He resumed his tour last night in Phoenix, Arizona, then heading to Vegas on Friday. I'll catch up with the tour there. Hey, Alex! Have my Springsteen credentials come in?
Bob, every time you do this, you make him nervous. Okay?
It's like
Can you hear him back there?
It's like a cord that goes around
Bob,
your neck, and
he's
then
literally going to look for these now.
It would
for
say-
like the next 10 minutes, he'll
it
look
would
for them.
say E Street Band
Bob, don't do this.
VIP.
He's pacing back and forth.
Okay, look for it. It should be coming in today. Anyway, I'll be catching up with the E Street Band on Friday in Las Vegas. Stone Temple Pilots and Live announce... What did Live do? Lightning Carries or something?
Throwing Copper was their album, yeah. Lightning Crashes.
Lightning Crashes. I'm thinking...
Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Who did Lightning Carries? Oh, I was thinking of Voices Carry.
Yeah, that's very
Till
different.
Tuesday. Stone Temple Pilots and Live announce a Jubilee 2024 tour. What is it, Jubilee? Jubilee's an anniversary,
I
isn't
think
it?
it's 25th anniversary. Can I say that I recently re-listened to one of those live albums?
They weren't bad.
I think it was Throwing Copper or something.
It's just a terrible name for a band.
Here's what's weird. I looked at it and
And
I was like,
live.
but I was like, holy crap, there's 6 songs on this album of 8 songs that were all hits on this
Yeah.
station. And then I listened to it carefully on headphones. The production on it's incredible.
I know. I just think
the
they're-
production is
I think-
nuts.
I think
they
now
just
listen,
fell off in a hurry. I think one of the band members went crazy.
What do I know about rock
I'm
and
gonna
roll?
look it up and see.
What does he know?
What do I know
Well, I
about?
think
I've
one of
only
them
been
went
working
super
in rock and roll
Christian.
since '78. What do I know? But I think it's a terrible name for a band. I think they tried to do what the band did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And called themselves the band, but the band had already been taken. So it's like, well, we're a live band. We should call ourselves Live. But that causes so much confusion.
If I even try to look it up on Wikipedia, it takes forever because it's hard to find.
They really did themselves a
They
disservice.
could have. They should have put a question
SEO,
mark
right?
after it or an exclamation point out or something to distinguish it. Because sometimes I would be like, I would see a poster that said Kiss Live. And I go, are they playing together? Or
Okay,
I'm
here's the issue.
confused. I get confused
Everybody
easily.
in the band sued everybody in the band at some point. And some people got the rights to the name Live, and then other people rejoined the band and then re-sued. That's the problem with this band, is that they couldn't get along, and they sued themselves into non-existence and non-touring.
Yeah,
That's why we don't see them.
Well, you know, that's a song as old as time, word as old as rhyme. You know what I'm saying? If I could quote...
In April of
I don't know what
2024,
I'm quoting right now.
Live is
Aladdin?
set to co-headline Australia with Incubus.
Oh. Well, Stone Temple Pilots and some version of Live will team up this summer for the Jubilee co-headlining tour feature. I like when they put the words co-headline because it's impossible to co-headline. Only one band can headline. You can't co-headline. The only way you could do it is if one band played one song and then the next song was the other band and then the back and forth. But somebody's opening up for somebody. Right? Yeah. So I guess maybe they'll swap nights anyway. They're featuring support on various dates from Soul Asylum and Our Lady Peace. OLP, as I used to call them. That trek's going to start off August 16th in Concord, California. Hey, you know who else is coming to the Enormo Dome?
We don't. We're waiting to hear.
Jennifer, turn off the Alexa. Alexa, stop. Because I got to get these for my wife.
What are they?
My wife has a favorite band. Okay,
no.
I know this because I had to listen to them all the way back from Dallas in the rain the other day. Okay, she loves the Kings of Leon.
Oh, they're still doing stuff?
Well, they're coming to the Enormo Dome in August, so I'm thinking of getting her a couple tickets for her birthday. I think I would put me in her good graces for another 6 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
anyway, Kings of Leon are hitting the road. I don't know what they got. I don't know if they got a new record out or something like that. I think they do. Let's see here. I think that is all the tour news I have. I did want to tell you, though, that rock is back at Lollapalooza 24. Things had gotten a little crazy in the festival circuit. Rock was non-existent at ACL 2023. Non-existent. There was a couple. I mean, Ben Queller did a couple killer shows. I saw them both. But that was pretty much it for rock and roll. And, of course, the Foo Fighters. But, you know, that's a big corporate gig, right?
Right.
But it looks like Lollapalooza is going to lean into especially alternative rock. So, when you see CJ, when you do your show this afternoon, you might want to do this story, Matt. Because you work on the afternoons on an alternative station.
That's right, I do.
Blink 182, The Killers, Deftones, Pierce the Veil, Two Door Cinema Club. I always liked that name. I never heard any of their music, but that was pretty cool. And a bunch of other indie bands are going to rock Lollapalooza. That happens, normally in August? In Chicago, Illinois, 60609.
Something like that.
Teddy Swims is going to be there.
I like Teddy.
Keisha's going to be there. There's going to be a lot of...
Keisha Cole?
And usually, as Lollapalooza goes, so goes ACL, right?
I think he means Kesha.
I might go Rolling Loud.
Yeah, Kesha, whatever. Right? Am I right? As goes... that's usually a pretty good... that's pretty usually
same company.
Yeah, same company. Also, SZA, Tyler, the Creator, who I've seen, and Hosier. I love the Hosier.
Who doesn't?
Huh?
They're the ones
Is
that
it
go,
Hosier
hey,
or Hosier?
Hosier.
Well, if you're uninformed, you call them Hosier. That's like so base, though. It's Hosier. It's French.
And a Hoosier is from Indiana?
Oh, and Skrillex will be there, too, so maybe we'll get... Skrillex, it's time for Rock and Roll News Junior. Now, you got to bear with me on this one, kids, because I'm going to tell you a little story. Of course, Rock and Roll Junior is for the kids. Rock and Roll News Junior is for the kids on the way to the dropout zone right now. Give them some sound effects, Chuy. How you doing, kids? What's happening? I know it's a long week. You're coming off the spring break. It's Wednesday. It feels like Friday already. Don't worry. You'll get to recess and lunch pretty quick, and then it's going to be a downhill slide into the weekend. You can make it. You can do it. Do your homework. Don't do what I did. Don't procrastinate and do your homework at the last minute. All right? Get it off your plate
so
early, then you can
fun.
have fun. Okay? All right? And read lots of books, stay in school, mind your parents. I know it sounds like boring stuff, but it really
is.
It develops your character.
We're not
And
gonna
then, when you have a few free moments, start a rock band. Get some pots and pans out of the kitchen and start banging on them. You know, and make some noise.
Yeah.
Because you're the future of rock and roll. All right, now. I know you guys are going to criticize me and say that Dr. Dre is not Rock and Roll News Junior.
No. Kids love to keep up with whatever the 55-year-olds are doing.
But
Still DRE.
here's my connection to Rock and Roll News. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, too. Tony Orlando's calling it quits after a concert
Bob.
in March 22nd.
Bob, the kids don't care about Tony.
I don't
The
think
Orlando.
adults
writer
care
and
about that
performer of Tie a Yellow Ribbon and that one. And what were his other two hits he had? He Don't Love You Like I Love You and
Kids, this is not for you.
Knock 3 Times.
I'm sorry this is happening to you,
Is
kids.
turning 80 and he's hanging it up. He still says he's going to continue songwriting. And don't tell me,
Also, the kids can't count to 80. You're telling them about an 80-year-old.
Don't tell me Tony Orlando isn't rock and roll. I will fight you.
The average kid is in
I
the
will
back
fight
of
you.
a car
Now,
right now.
this
has
is
a
not
grandparent
Junior.
That's in the, well, why did you do it
Because
during
I
the Junior?
forgot it and
You couldn't do it tomorrow?
I forgot it. Good
Tomorrow
question,
you're
Matt.
not going to have enough stories, and you're going to wish you had the Tony Orlando story.
To be fair, Tony Orlando might not be alive tomorrow.
Good point.
Well,
Good
he's looking
point.
good because he's got that same kind of blood that you and I have. You know what I'm saying?
Adrenochrome?
No. He's one of our people, Chuy.
Oh.
Now, Rock and Roll
Mentally
News Junior.
unstable?
Here's my connection to the kids with Dr. Dre. The kids love the Beats, headphones, and earpods. They love them. I don't know why they're equalized with too much bass. Kids, this is not how the art.
That's what we love.
This is not how the artist intended you to hear their music, with a bunch of thumpy bass. But it gets the old endorphins going, I guess, and they're just not very. They're not very neutral, and they're not very revealing. They're just. It's what we call in the audiophile world. It's got a smiley face curve. We don't like that. It's almost a V curve, which isn't even a curve at all. Anyway,
Do you even like the kids?
the range?
Do you even like the kids who tune in?
Mad at child.
Have you they're tuning in right
Too
now,
much
waiting.
bass. Anyway, the Beats headphones that you so love and that you get for Christmas from your parents were invented and promoted and marketed by Dr. Dre and Eminem. And they made a lot of money when they sold that company out. He made, what, $8 billion when he sold Beats to
I
Apple?
think it was just $1 billion.
He made a good amount.
He made a good amount, though. Dr. Dre is following in the footsteps of rap peers like Ice Cube, Tupac, Snoop Dogg as the West Coast
Can't
legend.
say two-pack, please.
I'll take it.
Tupac.
Just the fact that he's mentioned.
And Snoop Dogg, as the West Coast legend, was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He received extra points if you know who received the 2,774th star. We did it last week.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of it.
Come on.
It was somebody that was like,
Are you going to go my way?
Lenny.
Lenny. Now the 2,775th star is going to went to Dr. Dre yesterday. I'm surprised he hadn't had one before, but again, this is a thing that you buy through the Beverly Hills City Council or something. You write them a little tribute check, and then they go, okay, well, there's a place in front of Grauman's Chinese Theater, so you can put your star there.
Some guy takes a dump on it.
Right. Not a part of L.A. you really want to be hanging out in. But anyway, who was there for the occasion? Well, none other than Eminem looking fly. I'm using terms that the kids understand. Eminem was looking fly. 50 Cent was there. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, what's your favorite 50 Cent song?
In the club. Ha, I got you, didn't I?
It's in the club, though.
Yeah, there's no the.
Dr. Dre was there, of course, because it was all about him, and Snoop Dude was there. And let's see, who else was there? I don't think Jimmy Iovine, who helped him create the beats, the great producer, worked with Springsteen, worked with Tom Petty over the years. I don't think he was there, but he did the beats with Dre, and he got $500 million in the deal. So anyway, Dre got his star. That's Rock and Roll News Junior. It's time for the Rock and Roll News Salute. He's not going to hear this. But Crazy Lenny what is that? What's going on?
That's an
that's
alarm.
the new Rock and Roll News Junior.
Aruga. All dive.
That's your phone letting you know you're 2 minutes into the break already?
Oh, I am? Well, I had to go out to the car. Let's see. Okay, there's an Amber Alert. You might want to check that on your phone. I don't think it's our area. It's San Antonio. Okay. All right. Rock and Roll News Salute. I don't even have a Rock and Roll News Salute today. Do I? I could do one, but you don't know the guy. My new best friend. Yeah.
Why don't you give a rock and roll shout out to the people that run the Amber Alerts?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody out there in the Amber Alert and Silver Alert system, you're doing God's work.
They're two completely different offices.
We'll give them 2 salutes.
And they do a tug of war twice a year, once in spring and once in fall.
You wake us up from our naps, and you cause us to almost crash on the highway. Too many words. Too many words on those electric signs. All right, sing us out, Chuy. All right. These guys, they try to get me off my pace, try to get me off my game with the rock and roll. They can't do it, because you know what? Rock and roll is meant to be a little out there, a little crazy. It's not supposed to be perfect. You can miss a note or a chord once in a while and still have a hit. You don't even have to sing good. Is Bob Dylan a great singer? No. Bruce a great singer? No. Joni Mitchell a great singer? Maybe. Listen, I'll see you Friday in Las Vegas. I'll be in the VIP section. Alex! But remember, even though I get the red carpet treatment everywhere I go, I'm not above you. I'm not below you. I'm right here with you.
And then we're back in.
Wow.
Back quickly.
See?
We're good.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. What do we do here? Too early for thick news, right? I know. I saw the thick news thing in there, and then I heard you say, "Hey, it's too early for thick news." And I went
thick news.
I went a little
got
long
moved to 8
with the rock and roll news. But my bad. You know what I'm saying? Don't fire me.
You only went over by about 7 minutes today.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
But look at all the information I imparted.
The kids now know about Tony Orlando, but they're still wondering who Dawn is.
I love Tony Orlando. I thought he was good.
He's
Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Is that a prison song?
No, it's about when you're coming back from war.
I always thought he was coming out of jail.
No,
I got to look at the
whole
lyrics.
thing is when you came back from war, they were
What's the difference, really, when you think about it?
I guess so. I do have big news in the concert world
Go
that
ahead.
you seem to miss, but it was just announced that Air Supply is coming to Austin, to the Cedar Park Center. And if you are looking to hook up with a divorced mom, I think that you're going to want to grab a ticket.
I want to know who they're
Air
playing
Supply.
with, though. Like Little River Band? Who would go out with Air Supply?
If they're smart, they're doing their concert at around 6:30, and they're ending it at about 7:15, and that will keep everyone happy. You don't have to reach for the gold when you're a band like that. Play
Right.
6 or 7 hits and then let us go home.
They should do an X with Lubies. They should do. What band was it?
Air Supply
Air
X.
Supply X Lubies.
They've changed their song All Out of Love. They're now singing it to You're All Out of Time. You've reached the end.
All out of. Yeah. All out of cucumber salad.
There's no concerts today that you would go see, Matt?
Me?
Yeah.
There's no concerts I would go see?
That you would be eager to go see.
I don't know what all the concert listings are, so I can't answer that question. But generally speaking, it's harder and harder and harder to get me to a concert. I'll go see a show, but I would say that a concert is different than a show.
I'm
Wouldn't
all
you?
excited about Friday, and I'm kind of mad that neither of you guys is stepping up.
A concert to
join
me
me.
is a big, giant venue, and I have a very hard time paying attention in one of those big venues.
Why? You're
Well-
looking for safety
No, I've always been a bit of an ADDer. I used to love going to concerts when I was younger because you were going there with friends, and generally friends meant a couple where girls were there, and there was always the potential, and that's what kept my focus. Now that I'm no longer searching for that, if you want me to concentrate on your music, then I can do a show, meaning a smaller venue, right? Where I'm kind of there, I can see what's happening. But even then, the ADD, my brain starts to wander. I start looking around the venue. Then I'm like, I want to go see. I wonder what these walls are made out of.
That's all the drug use. Bob has no problem.
Well,
Bob?
I think if I was into drugs, I could really enjoy a concert again. Like if I was to go and take a bunch of LSD.
And go to Air Supply?
Sure. That doesn't, I mean, you know what? Maybe that's something as you grow older, you realize that things that scared you when you were younger mean less and less, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I can get busted right now with LSD on me.
Hell yeah.
And I can handle it because I have, I'm an adult. I know how to get a lawyer. I know how to pay fines, all that stuff. So all the frightening things are gone now. Mm-hmm. Also, I know that the stories that kids tell you about, the one kid took LSD and he thought that the world was spinning the wrong direction, so he jumped out of a I don't think that really happened. I think that happened.
All the scary things are gone now? Let's say your chest starts hurting right now. How do you?
Right now?
Yeah.
I take a little LSD. Is that a problem?
I guess when you age, the scary things are different.
Can I tell you something? I've been through a stroke, and it really loosens up a lot of stuff. Because right now you have a fear of what would a heart attack feel like or whatever. Like, I know what happens now during
an event.
An event.
So you're saying I should get this heart attack out of the way?
Yeah, because then you go, oh, okay.
But then it'll enable me to be like, it wasn't bad. Give me another pork cigar sausage.
Have you ever seen the smile on John Boyer's face? Our friend John Boyer?
Yeah.
Sells Audis, right?
Yeah.
Friendly.
John
He
Boyer.
died. He died. Had a massive coronary, died. And they brought him back to life like an hour later. But he knows what it's like. He's like, yeah, I know what death is like.
And there's nothing
I
there.
was dead for an hour, and he's like, and guess what?
Nothing there.
It's fine. So he doesn't live his life in constant fear of death. In fact, he lives his life, to enjoy it, to suck the marrow from the bone.
I haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, he died.
Hit us up,
he
John
died.
Boyer.
Yeah, he died again.
Todd, how do you feel about death?
Good, man.
You're good?
It's all good.
Do you fear
What
it?
happens after we die?
Who's out there? Who's that voice?
That's Todd.
Hey, what's up, Toddy?
What's Todd Jeffries from
How you doing, man?
the station that used to be ahead of us but isn't anymore.
Give the drummer some.
How you doing, man?
Give the drummer some.
Oh, you pounded it out there.
Yeah,
What was the question? You had a question you wanted to...
Do you fear death?
No.
Heart attack.
It would be my first choice, but no, I don't fear death. No.
What do you fear?
A slow, painful death.
What about immigration? You fear
immigration? I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
You want to check my ID?
I do. I fear immigration.
Yeah.
The reason I fear it is because there's been about a dozen middle schoolers die from fentanyl in this area. That's the reason I fear it.
Dang.
How about you guys?
Hey, we talk about rock and
Do
roll.
you guys
over
fear
here.
it?
No, not at all.
You
don't
ever
fear
think
it?
the Americans
No.
should stop using drugs and that would
Yes,
stop
absolutely.
the cartel? How
absolutely.
would we stop that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't have those kind of fears over here. We're all about.
Did I go too deep for you guys?
No, not at all.
No.
No, I think you went too shallow.
Did I?
Yeah. But why would I tell you something that no dude wants to
This
hear
could have
that?
been a great moment, guys.
It could have. Well,
Could've
what
been a great
happened?
moment. Could
What
have been a great
happened?
moment.
I thought it was a
Why
good
can't
moment.
it continue being a great moment?
Could have been great.
Hey,
This is the joining of two KLBJ shows, and there's no more genius idea than naming two stations the same thing.
Right.
It's worked out so far.
What's hot in the news?
What's hot in the news?
What are we talking about?
SB4 is back on hold.
Oh, geez.
Right. Yeah.
Mass back
It
on
went
hold.
off hold and on hold in a hurry.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Hey, let me ask you a question. When Todd Jeffries gets in his golden-plated Corvette C10 or whatever they're up to now.
Do you still have that vet? I haven't seen it up here forever.
I haven't
And he
driven it.
goes home and he puts on his gold-plated headphones to listen to music. What's Todd Jeffries listening to?
Yeah, what do you jam out at a
I
little
wish I
bit?
had I would show you
Is it
my,
Ice Spice?
my Spotify list. I'd
Sexy
show you.
Red?
Spotify. That's
I'd
so
show you.
lost.
You're a Gen X
that's
kid,
so
aren't
lossy.
you?
Huh?
You're a Gen X kid.
That's right.
And were you ever into the band Live?
I think so, yes.
Give it up, give it up, give it up. We were talking about them earlier this morning.
Lightning crashes.
I don't think I could. Yeah, lightning crashes. I remember that. Yeah.
Were you into like? I feel like you were into maybe the alt music, the 101X of the 90s.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd say you were.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He likes some sexy reds and Meg the Stallions up to there.
Absolutely.
No, I think he was probably into like, did you like a little bit of the grunge and all that?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So, so what happened?
What happened to the grunge?
Yeah.
Well, we all got, prostate issues and ED issues.
And mortgages.
And,
Sad times.
just crappy life, right?
Yeah.
No, my life's great, dude.
Mine's great.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah.
How does Todd Jeffries relax?
A lot of drugs.
Oh, come on, man.
Lots
Give
of
us a
drugs.
straight. You can
No.
never get a straight
Lots
answer
of
from
drugs.
Todd.
We just talking
Lots
about
of
acid.
drugs.
He considers Geritol a drug.
Lots of drugs.
Okay.
Fibercon is not a drug.
Oh, garlic.
Lots of Blue Chew.
Centrum Silver. If he scored them,
See ya, Toddy.
All
There he
right.
goes.
I love Todd. We don't see. I don't know what he believes. I don't even know.
If you're ever in a good mood and enjoying your life, flip over and listen to Todd. He'll get that knocked
take
out
that
of you.
right out of you.
He'll turn you into an angry person in a hurry.
I wish we could have got into the. First off, we don't have enough time. Secondly, I think we'd get in trouble if we were.
You know,
If
he
we did
secretly,
what?
because he tells me all the time, he secretly always wanted to be on this show. He always
we
wanted to
could
be
not.
he always wanted to be a full-time cast member over here.
Well, he's got to be exhausted just talking to the angries over there.
I
He
know.
always gets mad when I call him the angries because he's like, my listeners aren't angry. And I'm like, okay. I don't know why you said it to me that way. So angry.
Yeah.
Lean in now for some thick headlines.
Matt, we went a little over, so if you could keep this short,
I will tighten it up.
We'll catch up. My bad.
Employees from a nonprofit called Urban Alchemy are walking up and down 6th Street and some adjacent streets during the daytime hours. And they're trying to connect with people experiencing homelessness, which is another way of just saying homeless people. And it's called the Heart Initiative. Anyway, the pilot program that was launched last month, it has connected already almost 200 people with homeless shelters and services. That's important because when you can get somebody and explain to them, and I know that for you, you're like, well, clearly if you're homeless, you know that a homeless shelter's there. There's all kinds of things that you hear on the street, too. Don't go to the homeless shelter. You'll get all your stuff stolen. You'll get sexually abused. There's all kinds of stuff that you hear on the streets and you don't trust them. So now you're having some people, it's a pilot program, they said. They said there's no measurement of long-term success just yet, but they said, hey, we have made some immediate changes. And I'll tell you this right now. When you look at all the pilot programs we've had right here for homelessness in this city, that's a pretty good success rate. Getting 200 people connected with shelters in a hurry. But that's the goal. Getting people off streets and in places where they can achieve some help and eventually get them back into living on their feet. Most people who are living on the streets can be helped, despite what Hollywood and whatever is put in our brains, right? Most people, and we know that because we've had multiple people over the years in here on the station who are gainfully employed, and you would go, what? You were home? Like, it literally would blow your mind and go, what do you mean you were homeless? And like, yeah, I lived on the streets for 7 years. And you find that out, and it changes the way you think about the whole program and the whole situation. So good on them. We'll keep an eye on that to see how it continues to fare. Several people are facing charges being accused of illegally hunting in Austin parks. Folks,
Wait a minute.
I don't know why we need to say this,
Like
but
Zilker?
you need to not be hunting. You're not supposed to hunt in parks.
I know, but the word is out that there's a big troll in one of the parks.
Guys,
And
Joe Rogan's new to hunting. This can't be. I mean,
That's
somebody that hasn't.
It's not Joe Rogan because there's no elk in any Austin parks, okay? KXAN is reporting last month, people in a nearby school community expressed frustration from hearing repeated sounds of gunshots in John Trevino Metropolitan Park. That's just off 969 there. The Austin Discovery School's right there. There's a couple of other things as well. And they said, hey, we keep hearing gunshots. So eventually, I think game wardens went out there. They arrested a couple of people, ticketed and cited them. They said, you can't.
that's just a ticket? Discharging a firearm in a public, that's a ticket?
I mean, they were arrested. I mean, everybody is cited when you're arrested.
I
You're
guess so.
released on your own recognizance.
Do they take your weapon?
They made contact with 5 people who admitted to hunting on the property.
Hunting what? Squirrel?
The game warden received a notification from the cameras and said footage showed multiple people actively hunting with dogs on the property. At least one person appeared to have a firearm. We got several videos from one of the cameras.
With people?
They had hunting dogs and they were out hunting.
What is wrong with people?
They located 6 individuals leaving the park going to an adjacent rural neighborhood. They said the 5 suspects were charged with criminal trespass and hunting without consent. Remember, folks, consent is sexy. They were hunting feral hogs, perhaps. And the guy said, I thought we could hunt hogs whenever, wherever.
Were they dressed up? And I understand shooting a hog that's in your yard or something like that, but
I don't even know if you can do that, can you?
I don't
In
think
city
so,
limits?
but I understand it.
You do not even need a license to hunt on private property if you have permission. But if you're on public private property, you have to have a hunting license.
I think it's against my HOA, to be honest with you.
Well, they should keep the hogs out.
A person may not harm, harass, hunt, trap, or remove an animal, including a mammal, fish, insect, bird, reptile, or other living creature from a park, except with written approval of the park director. So, anyway, folks, stop going to the park. You can't go to Peace Park and start pulling out your gun unless you're near a whispering bush. Get it? Whispering bush? No. No, nobody. Nate Paul. One of Austin's favorite villains, Nate Paul was ordered to jail yesterday.
Nate Paul!
He was ordered to start serving a 10-day jail sentence for contempt of court starting on April 1st for violations over this civil case. He has the money owed to a charitable foundation and a bunch of other stuff going on. You know, he's the guy that's gotten in a bunch of trouble. He's also got the DA's office, the Attorney General's office mixed up and embroiled in trouble. He's part of an FBI investigation. He's one of Austin's favorite villains. Anyway, he was ordered to jail. However, his commitment to jail has now been paused pending further order of the court. So he was ordered to jail and then unordered to jail early on. And it's a further thing. I got to tell you, folks. You need to get money and you need to get friends. If you do that, you can stay out of jail. I've been in jail. Chuy's been in jail. We've both been in jail for a really good reason, and that is that neither of us had money or friends.
Might go back.
But and I can tell you this, a lot of you out there have been in jail, and you know why? You didn't have the money or the friends. And the friends, I mean, you can't just have regular friends. You can't have your friend like Hector and Kevin, okay? That's not what I mean. You need to have friends that are connected. And then you get to do whatever you want to.
And know that we're not scared to go back.
Let's get into a little bit of food and food news. And this is mainly just for our friend Chuy, who loves the food news.
Oh, thank you.
You know what? If we focus it, can you make us a sounder about food news in Austin?
Yeah, I can do that.
If you do that, I bet we start getting invited to more of these openings and stuff.
Whatever you think helps our chances.
Because then we can say that we're food reporters. Because right now we just mention food every single day, and we're not getting invited to all this stuff. They just want the Instagram kids there. But if we had a food segment, we get invited to all this stuff.
Here's a little cautionary tale for you on that one.
All right, can we turn on the music? I want to listen to this. Maybe this is important.
I call myself a rock reporter. I get nothing. No tickets, no nothing, anything. I got to come out of pocket.
Have you thought about an intro?
You know, this thing is costing me more money out of my pocket than I'm making.
Point of inquiry. This morning, did you talk about Tony Orlando?
Yeah.
You might want to start talking about a little bit of rock during your rock news.
Dude, Tony Orlando rocked. He rocked his balls off, dude.
If you're headed up to Leander, there's a brand new restaurant owned by Jose Brito and Lucrecia Federico. It's called Brito's. It's a food truck and open at the Wildfire Park. And it's modern food, modern Venezuelan food. And this stuff looks really good.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Arepa, bao, caramelized French toast, a brioche burger, garlic potatoes, Dude, it looks good.
I'll take some.
Britos.atx if you want to check out
Burritos.
the Instagram. Britos. Britos. And something, well, I'm going to save this one for the end. North Central Austin, there's a new sushi place called Sushi Roku.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
You have?
Yeah.
I've heard of a Roku.
They make a bunch of Austin-specific items, but I'm bringing this up because they have a dessert where the dessert is covered in a cloud of cotton candy, and then they light the cotton candy, and it melts around, and that's the kind of thing I know that excites Chuy. Chuy loves a little sweet treat at the end of a meal.
Might go this
He
weekend.
loves a sweet treat. Hey, Chuy, dinner's over if you want to get yourself something sweet.
Now it's time for something sweet.
He gets him
As
very
my mama
excited.
would say.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, at the Kalahari Resorts and Convention
We got to
Center,
get over there. I don't know why we haven't been. They got bowling and everything.
You gonna slide?
No, I'm on a bowl.
there is a new fast casual restaurant open. It's called Max, and it just does tiny dishes, not tiny, a little small, what's that thing called, cast iron skillets?
Yes.
Filled with different gourmet macaroni and cheeses.
Oh, it's called M-A-C-K.
Yeah.
I mean, M-A-C-S?
Yes.
Okay.
MACS, Max.
Who's
And
emceeing
it's
all
all different macaronis. Is it macaroni and cheeses, or is it macaronis and cheese?
I think it's still just mac and cheese. Because I think cheese is already plural, right?
Yeah, but macaroni is plural as well.
Jesus.
I know. Do you know that if you try to conjugate out macaroni and cheese, that's the same thing that the CERN Collider is trying to figure out with the, smashing atoms or whatever? Ladies and gentlemen, that is today's Austin area news.
Oh, don't forget, we're going to Little Caesars after the show.
Oh,
get those mini.
man,
we're gonna get those
I want 'em, I
we're
want
getting
'em,
those
I
little
want 'em.
cups, right?
Are you going to be going there in my truck, or are you going in your own vehicle?
Oh, we're going to go in your truck.
Welcome to Mornings with Matt and Bob. We are powered by Chuy, everybody, and we got something big happening today.
Yeah.
We've been this has been a little over a month in the working, and it's finally here. Bob, are you excited about this moment?
Yes.
Do you know what's happening right now?
The eclipse is going on right now.
No. We were going to talk to Big Al about. Yeah.
That's who that is. Hey,
Yeah.
Big Al.
Hello.
Welcome. I'm Bob.
Hi.
Wow, that's a firm handshake. Wow. Ow.
Oh.
Dang, dude.
Bob, you're confusing Al.
No, we did not do a handshake. We didn't even touch anything.
It's called theater of the mind.
I'm sorry.
Al. Theater of the mind. You have to learn that about radio.
Yeah. Now, Big Al, let's introduce you. I think most of our listeners probably know who you are by now. It's been about a month and a half, 2 months you've been working with us. You're interning with us right now.
Yes.
Right. You're a college student at the fine Austin Community College, which I happen to stan. I think it's the best community college in the entire nation. The system is really
yeah, thank you. Yeah,
kicking
it is really good.
Thank you. He made it.
What?
He said thank you for the
Oh, he did?
complimenting the college.
Oh, yeah. And you're a student there. What are you studying? What are you studying?
Streaming broadcast TV production. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Are there regular
mistake.
classes that I have no concept, or do you just walk in and take a class?
They have classes like online and in person, and
There's literally no difference between ACC and UT, Bob.
Okay.
Other than the professors and the
You say.
campuses or whatever,
I guess
and the
I'll
cost.
take your word for it.
I've been to classes at both schools. And I'm telling you that I think that sometimes people in their mind think... Now, community college does have a lot of also vocational programs attached to it as well.
Gotcha.
They believe that their what do you call that? Their calling is to educate the population as a whole. So it's not just like liberal arts programs, things like that.
Gotcha.
You could also learn how to weld.
I wouldn't mind that.
You could learn AC and HVAC.
That'd save me some money.
But you could also learn computer programming.
I don't have the brain for that.
You could learn textile making.
I'd like to make paper.
Yeah, you could learn that in art program. You can go get an art degree.
I've always wanted to make my own paper.
How much paper are you making in the radio?
Yeah,
That's an issue.
I get it.
So, Bob, do you know what we're doing with Big Al today?
Don't have a clue.
You don't remember?
Huh?
We've talked about it a bit.
Your drip? We're doing. No, we do. That's after the show.
They can't show that on the radio.
Oh, we're doing some brackets because it's March Madness, but we're not doing sports brackets. We're doing cool brackets. Yeah. Okay, I remember.
A little background for people out there. You were working as a security guard. We call you Big Al because you're a giant. You're 6'8",
6'7",
6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, 6'6", 6'7". I 6'8", 6'7", 8.
Okay, how about this? You're a giant. You're a lumbering oaf. Can we say that?
Wow.
Sure.
Wow.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Exactly. You have unique style.
Mm-hmm.
You sometimes you're all matching. Today you're in very bright colors.
Yeah.
And you're also a literalist. And our show trades only in sarcasm, which I think for the first week probably made things complicated for you.
No worries. I've been doing some good work, I think.
You've been doing. Hey, we said it yesterday. You weren't here. We said that somebody should hire you the day you get out of here.
You're a workhorse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're an absolute workhorse.
You do jobs to completion. You have initiative. I've noticed this. I know you don't think that I know you, but I'm watching out of the corner of my eye.
Now, one of the things that we talked about, and I think you're comfortable, you've said before you're comfortable talking about, is that I believe with the terms we use these days are neurodivergent, right? Mm-hmm. Are you comfortable talking about this?
Sure.
Sure?
Yeah.
Now, are you sure?
Pretty sure. You can just say whatever.
Well, I'm not going to say whatever, but we've talked about it before, and I think it's important because for a lot of it, so you're what we call on the spectrum, right? There's something called the autism spectrum, and we talk about it because I think for a lot of people, especially my generation, their only introduction or their first introduction was a movie called Rain Man, right? Which I think was okay because it introduced some people to the idea of autism, but it also confused some people into thinking that all autists are the same, or that they had some bizarre magical counting talents, but were
Rain Man
couldn't
put that
communicate.
in our head. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's not necessarily that's not necessarily true whatsoever, right? So I think this is nice because I think a lot of our listeners can go, oh, because you do communicate a little differently than what you might call, I don't know, the mean personality in the country, meaning like right there in the middle. But we like you a lot. Okay, and I love that we can put you. I love that we can put you on task, because none of us are taskmasters. The three of us are idiots, right? And you get stuff done.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
Thank you.
We're panicked because when you leave here in like a month, nothing will ever get done again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We suggested to you, hey, you want to give us some pitches? You brought us this incredible pitch, and you're going to run this for the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
Explain to the audience what you have put together for them.
Okay, there's a full bracket, but it's not basketball. It's fights between characters from songs.
Right.
Now,
can you give us an example?
Okay, the first one I have here is Iron Man from the Black Sabbath song, not Tony Stark. Iron Man from the Black Sabbath song versus Mr. Roboto from the Styx song. And that is the first one I keep going to, and I try not to.
And are we battling them on coolness? Who would win in a fight? Who's stronger? Who do we like more? Who's in the better song? What are we using?
Does it matter?
Our metrics to find out these brackets.
It's who wins in a fight.
Okay.
A song can be better or worse, but what matters is like we're going off of what the characters are displaying here in the song lyrics.
Yeah, it's going to be really weird farther down the brackets when like Iron Man has to fight Material Girl.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's going to be
or Dirty Diana's fighting Leroy Brown.
Yeah, we're going to have to really dig deep on that. So I think it's open to. Well, there's a lot of ways to fight in this world. Yeah. It's not all about brute strength. Fighting can be. You could fight in the courts,
and some of
these can fight on the streets.
Yeah, some of these are a little more abstract too.
So we're going to take these, we're going to battle them out in our brackets. We're going to turn some of the brackets over to the listeners as well, and they will get to vote. Make sure you're following along Matt and Bob FM on Instagram. In our stories, we'll be posting up a bunch of these brackets, and you'll get to vote, right?
Yeah.
So you brought us in how many matchups do you have in just the initial
32, 64?
Yeah, how many? We got 64 matchups?
I have 16 matchups in total.
So that's 32 teams.
Yeah.
Or characters.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's try to get through maybe 8 today.
Oh, wow. There we go.
But who knows? It could take a lot longer. But we're going to start battling out. So let's go ahead. Should we take the very first ones?
Let me get my computer up here because I'm going to look at some lyrics because I'm going to use lyrics.
Yeah, do you have any background for us on Mr. Roboto and
is that
Iron
the
Man?
first? Do we have any intro to this or anything like that? Or not? We didn't do that. He would have to done that.
But we put everything on Al. We don't have like an intro like the March Madness. Well, we can't say March Madness. We don't have it. What's the name of this, by the way, Al?
We've been trying to figure out the name. Musical Madness, Musical Melee.
Musical Melee is not bad. I like Musical Melee.
Okay.
Big Al's Musical Melee.
Okay.
Big Al's Musical Melee.
Yeah. Get the NBA on NBC theme. Sure.
But we don't have like a ding 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 ding. Welcome to Big Al's Musical Melee. Ding ding ding.
Yeah, get that guy to record it.
You got to say it for now.
Welcome to Big Al's Musical Melee.
All right, now we
actually pretty good,
that,
wasn't it?
When you go back there and you do the podcast, take that out and make that the intro.
Nods to the odd. No, that's
something else. That's another benchmark.
So, Big Al, give us the first one. Let's get into this.
All right, Iron Man from the Black Sabbath song. It's not Tony Stark. It's not Robert Downey Jr. It's not the rich guy. It's the guy who got caught in the great magnetic field and came back a weird metallic melted monster and is now, he was meant to be the savior. Now he's destroying everyone. Mr. Roboto is a very confused person who might be a robot or might not be a robot.
He doesn't know.
Their real name is Kilroy. And I've actually looked into, there's something that's a bit tricky because there's actually a whole like concert film. Do we want to count that or just go off the song? Because the song itself is a little bit vague.
Well, Mr. Roboto says, I'm not a hero, I'm not a savior. Forget what you know. I'm just a man whose circumstances went beyond his control.
Right.
But part of that, you have to remember, he's human, but his blood is boiling and his brain is IBM.
Yeah, so he's got a computer brain. It's controlling everything, and he has an access to, I assume, to a vast knowledge database.
But Iron Man is fueled by vengeance, and I feel like that
by vengeance, by revenge,
by power. That's very powerful.
Yeah,
very powerful. Mr. Roboto sounds like he wants to hang
fear.
out.
He kills the people he wants saved.
Yeah, they're running as fast as they can. I've actually gone a little bit.
Man, this guy's not messing around.
Yeah.
The
Mr. Roboto's walking around like, I don't know.
If we're saying as fast as he can, he has these he sounds like big and imposing and like heavy, but at the same time he can go as fast as the other people can and just keep slaughtering them. And I forget the exact number, but I think I went into like the fastest record. I went to like Usain Bolt. I took it. Like you're saying, I'm a literalist.
Right.
I took that pretty literally. Okay, the civilians, I have a little bit of an analysis here already on Iron Man from a previous thing.
Okay, all right.
All right, the civilians are running as fast.
Wait, can I ask you, what is this previous thing?
Okay, it was a previous idea. I've had an idea just for one matchup, which was, and they'll be in the bracket later, but the matchup I had was Iron Man from Black Sabbath versus everybody from Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting, which is the two people. So I have analyses ready on both. Okay, so getting to the speed thing.
Is this how you spend some of your free time there, Alex?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. With the zero judgment, you are allowed to spend your free time as you please.
At least it's not inappropriate for the radio. So.
What do you mean by that? Masturbation?
Nah. Don't worry about it. The civilians are running as fast as they can from Iron Man, yet he has never said to not be succeeding in his quest for vengeance and killing everyone. The average human male's running speed is 8 miles per hour, while Usain Bolt, the world's fastest man, can reach up to 27.33 miles per hour.
Jesus Christ.
So Iron Man, despite being all heavy and weighed down with the boots of lead, can, if we're going at the highest bar, can go 27.33 miles per hour, which is as fast as they can in recorded.
Mr. Roboto was made with parts made in Japan. And we do all know they're very
That used to be a bad thing.
They're
Now
at the
that's a good
forefront.
thing.
I don't think
But
it's
now-
a bad thing at all.
now,
It's the opposite.
especially-
you'd be lucky to get
I'm
something.
updating my truck, and I know that anytime I'm looking for new parts, I try to find Japanese-made parts. They are much superior to the Chinese manufactured parts. Asen, one of the manufacturers, Delco as well. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good parts.
We know that Mr. Roboto is confused, and that shows a little bit of weakness. But let me explore the lyrics of Iron Man, because the song starts in the first person and then immediately goes into the second person. So there's a little confusion here. He says, "I am Iron Man."
Yes.
Then the song goes into second person or third person or whatever it is. He's lost his mind. Can he walk? Or if he moves, he will. Why
Can
does
he
it do
see?
that? Why does that song do that? Why
Can
does
he
it
see or is he blind?
Why does it start in the first person and then immediately goes lyrically into the second person?
I think like there's different people trying to recount the story, and then like they get
like
to
the Bible.
perhaps.
So can we trust those people? Because they're just reporters, whereas
I don't know, Bob.
Whereas
Can
Mr.
can we trust the apostles?
Mr. Roboto is I don't play for that team anymore. Mr. Roboto is coming right from the heart. He's coming first person. He's coming at you. He's telling you about his experience.
He's very humble as well.
Very humble. He could be a monster. He doesn't know.
By the way, 512-834-0937. You, as the audience, are allowed to weigh in on any of these matchups.
Does Iron Man have any weaknesses? Does it say any weaknesses in his song?
Let me see.
mental instability? But both are kind of
Because Mr.
uncertain
Roboto
about
has the heart of a human,
yeah.
Well,
but I
he's
guess
not-
the help of a robotic mind.
Right.
A computer
Iron Man
mind?
is not very popular. It says here no one wants him. So he's a loner.
Well, nobody wants him because he's killing everybody.
Yeah, that's not nice. That's
Yeah.
not a nice way to get along with everyone.
He's victimizing himself.
Now, Al, you have the heart of a human and the mind of a computer, okay?
Perhaps.
Do you feel like you have any camaraderie? Do you feel like a camaraderie with Mr. Roboto? Do you feel like you're like, yeah, I get what he's going through?
Well, I have a bit of. Should I go? We're just going off the lyrics because there's also a concert film, and that album was a concept album.
That's right.
It's what destroyed Styx.
It's what
Yeah.
destroyed the band
Yeah.
Styx. It
That
broke up the
version.
band because the band said, we don't want to do your stupid operas anymore.
Yeah,
We don't want to do theater on stage anymore.
Yeah.
And they try to put it on stage, and like they put the film on stage and show it to everybody, and like they just kept getting booed, and they're like, oh.
Wow.
The mouth on this young man.
Sorry, I tried. I forgot for a second. Freaking. We're on the radio.
Did you see the concert footage from the big Texas concert?
The big Texas concert is that.
There used to be a gigantic. Bob, what was the name of the big rock concert
Oh,
that
yeah,
happened
the
here
Texas
in Texas?
Jam
The
or
Texas Jam, yeah. There was this huge Monsters of Metal thing that happened here in Texas, and people began booing and throwing things on stage because they came out and tried to do their rock opera. And I think I know what happened is that it was Tommy Shaw, right? Mm-hmm. And Tommy.
No.
No.
Dennis DeYoung.
Dennis DeYoung
Was the
had
guy
been,
that
he'd
killed
been paying
Styx.
a little too close attention to things like Pinball Wizard, and he was like,
Concept
Tommy,
albums,
he was like, I want to make one of these things that these guys are doing.
Concept album.
But his was a little more Broadway-y,
Yeah.
and it broke up the band.
They came back, but they still play Mr. I think they have to play Mr. Roboto in concert.
Well, I think it's time to take votes. I think it's time to take votes. So, Bob, when it comes to Kilroy versus Iron Man, who are you voting for? Who wins?
I think this is a no-brainer this time around. I think there's too much speculation with Mr. Roboto. He doesn't even know himself. Black Sabbath's Iron Man, he's just going around slaying everybody.
Okay.
He doesn't care. He's got no conscience. He has no remorse or regret. I got to go. He's got boots of lead. I got to go 100% Iron Man.
Okay. Chuy, who do you got?
I'm for the AI and robotic integration, and I think Mr. Roboto is technically a cyborg that has human with the assistance of robotics, technology, parts from Japan. I think he has the edge because he is part human.
Oh.
Okay.
I think he has the edge.
So that's one for Kilroy.
Wow.
I'm going to say that it's very hard for me to separate Dennis DeYoung, and I know that the assignment here is to look only at the lyrics and these characters, but it's very hard for me to separate the I am I'm Iron Man. With secret, I've got the secret. Secret, I've got It's very hard for me to separate that because it's so drilled into my head. So even though it's not really the assignment, I have to give the nod to Iron Man over Kilroy. And that means that the last vote now comes down to our good friend Big Al. Big Al.
And it could be a tie.
If you set up the tie, I'll definitely have to go to the listeners to break it. But he could go Iron Man, and that'd just be a crushing win for Iron Man. Big Al, what you got?
Okay, do I just go off?
Sorry, you got me there.
Yeah, that's not really a vote. That's just a big.
Give me a COVID test. What you're chewing?
No, I'm fine.
It's right there in
Coffee
your face too.
It's a coffee particle.
Right, that box over there on the.
I don't have COVID. It was a coffee particle stuck. But anyways.
Oh yeah, I taste that now.
Sorry. Okay, I'm trying to, because I just go off the lyrics, right? I don't go off that extended concert film.
You're asking us right now, but you came up with a game, so you don't have to ask us. You can tell us.
I say go by the concert film.
Extended concert film, he's just a guy. He actually is just a guy. He disguised as a robot briefly, and most of the rest of the thing has nothing to do with the robots. It's very confused and messed up, and he's trying to like fight on behalf of rock and roll or something, and his name is actually like Robert Orrin Charles Kilroy or something.
Right.
So he's just he's just a guy, and there's robots in there, but it's like when they disguise as stormtroopers in the first Star Wars.
Okay.
So he's just disguised as like this dictator preacher guy's robot minions. So that's what Kilroy is. So he's even more just a guy. But if we say he has like a computer enhanced brain, that helps.
In the song it says so.
So, but he's a bit too fleshy, I guess, compared to Iron Man.
Well, so is Chuy, but we love him.
Yeah, no worries.
So who are you going to go? Where's your vote?
Based off of that, I feel like Iron Man from Black Sabbath is just going to murder him.
Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. Don't we have like an ooh? Winner of the very first battle, Iron Man beats Kilroy.
Yeah. I think that's...
No, I have a question for you, Big Al. Is there anybody that's going to be able to defeat Iron Man?
There's a lot of people in here. There's some abstract stuff in here.
Okay, all right.
What is the next? Just give me the next line.
Okay, the next one is Maxwell Silverhammer, the guy who just beats people to death with the silver hammer from the Beatles song, versus Steve from Queen's Another One Bites the Dust with the machine gun ready to go.
All right. What was that second song again, Big Al?
Another One Bites the Dust.
Oh, Another One Bites the Dust.
I got to be honest with you. I've never listened to the lyrics of Another One Bites the Dust.
All I thought it was about music. I thought it was about like bands or something.
Another one done, and another one done.
Let's see.
Is he shooting people?
Oh, yeah, his machine gun's ready to go.
Well, hey. Oh, so this is about a mass shooter? Steve walks warily down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of his feet. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Oh, he's a mass shooter.
Well, but okay, hang on a second. If we put this into a war context, and we don't like war is bad, let's not have war.
That's a hot take.
Let's not have war, but if he is a warrior for a cause, and that's why he's doing the killing, that's a whole different thing. Whereas Maxwell, if I can go back to a song I know very well, this song is really not even about, we know very little about Maxwell in the song. We know nothing about him. We know everything about his victims. We know he murdered a teacher. He murdered a girl. He had no remorse. He didn't think twice. He did it he killed them from behind.
Yeah.
He snuck up on them. Each one, he waited for them to turn their back on him.
What a coward.
And then his hammer came down. We've got the girl, we got Joan, we've got the teacher, and who else did he? Rose and Valerie. He was a murdering machine with a silver hammer.
Yeah. Now, I have a feeling...
he made sure that they were all dead. I
have a feeling that Al's probably done the victim count on both of these people.
the only ones I did a full analysis of before, but what were Everybody from Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting and Iron Man. But
okay.
I am seeing what's in the lyrics here right now. He also is majoring in medicine, Maxwell Edison. So there's a certain degree of intelligence, sort of a Hannibal Lecter type.
That's just the cuteness. You don't know the cuteness of McCartney. What are you going to rhyme with Edison?
Well, he's in school.
Medicine. It's the only word that rhymes with it. What do you think he's going to use? Venison?
I don't know.
Huh?
Maxwell Edison turning people
eating lots of venison? No,
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Paul's a lyrical genius.
I need to hear this other song.
Yeah, which one?
What is it called? Beatles?
You never heard Maxwell's Silver Hammer?
No, who the hell's heard that?
Maxwell Silver. I know
It's
Ringo's
only on Sgt. Pepper's. I mean, that's a little known
Who's that
album.
guy?
Steve appears to kill 26 people during the song of Another One Bites the Dust.
We don't know where it leads with Maxwell. Or did he get caught?
I don't know.
Because PC31 said we've got a dirty one. But I don't think PC30, which is PC, you know what that stands for in English, right? In England? Police constable.
Yeah.
Number 31. I don't know if he's on the trail, but I don't know if he's caught Maxwell yet. I think Maxwell goes on a spree.
I think he killed the judge. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's right.
He got away with it. Well, I don't know if
He
he got
snuck
away
up
with
behind the judge, too. I don't know how. Where was the bailiff?
He's got a lot of stealth. He can just come out of nowhere, it seems like.
Yeah.
But
I know that you. Let you play a little of this.
Never heard this?
Doesn't sound very maniacal.
Well, that's the maniacalness of the song.
That's the irony of it.
Yeah, he's a murderer though. But it is a bouncier song. I know that you pontificated that maybe Steve was a soldier.
Yes.
But he does give us a very important hint.
Okay.
In Another One Bites the Dust.
Go ahead.
He says, how do you think I'm going to get along without you when you're gone? You took me for everything that I had and kicked me out of my town.
Okay. All right. This is a revenge song.
This is a revenge song, and this is a guy walking through a city.
I'm glad you went deep on that because I didn't see that.
He's walking through his city, and this is...
Wow,
This is actually maybe a cancelable song now.
This makes me look
at
this is Eddie Mercury totally different.
Eddie Mercury.
Freddie, you know what I meant at Big Al.
I'm Gumby, damn it.
He's so cute. Just want to put him in my pocket.
Let's take a couple calls.
Okay.
Barry. Barry. What's up, man?
Blake.
Oh, Blake, sorry.
Hey, Blake.
It's all good. Hey, I just want to make a quick comment. Did Bob just say Maxwell Silver Hammer was on Sgt. Pepper?
Yeah, wasn't it?
Abbey Road.
Oh, no, it's Abbey Road. I'm sorry.
It's Abbey Road, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Come on.
How good did that feel to be able to call up and correct Bob on a Beatles
Hey, give
thing?
him something from the prize closet, Chuy.
Yeah.
There's a keychain waiting for you.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
All
We
right.
just tossed it out in the middle of I-35.
Get it for
You
us.
grab it any time of the day you need it.
Someone's going to hit it. All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
yeah,
Blake.
you're right. I had a little
Bob, you suck.
yeah.
What
was I
At
thinking?
least you got Eddie Mercury right.
Yeah.
Andy.
Hey, good morning, guys. Real quick, so does Iron Man advance over Mr. Roboto? Is that how that works?
Iron Man is going to advance over Mr.
We don't know
Roboto.
who he's going to face yet.
Well, I'd like to see him face Godzilla.
Well,
Oh,
we don't
stay
know.
tuned.
We
From
don't
Blue
know
Eye-
if
who
that'll
did that
happen
one?
yet.
Blue
We
Eye-
haven't looked at the whole bracket. We'll have it posted up later today, okay?
Who did
Yes.
Godzilla?
All right,
BOC?
go Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue
All right.
Oyster
Is that who
Cult.
you're rooting for, sir?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Andy. I'd like to hear who thinks will win the entire March Madness bracket. And we should have them win a prize, maybe, if they guess correctly.
There we are.
Well, don't say that out loud because then it looks like we're unprepared and didn't think about this enough before we started doing it, which might be the truth. So maybe it's time to vote on Maxwell versus Steve.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's go the other direction this time. We'll start with you, Al.
yeah, big
All right. I feel like, Maxwell is sneaky, but Steve is dealing with a more active fighting terrain and going up against a bunch of people who also have guns, and he's out for revenge. And Maxwell is just killing for the hell of it. It seems like. So, A gun is going to be more effective at range than a silver hammer, but Maxwell is very sneaky and stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Could sneak up on Steve, but then again, like he could.
That's an
pistol
interesting
whip him.
point. Yeah.
Steve doesn't come off as the guy that is sleeping a lot. You know.
Yeah.
He's on edge. He's smoking cigarettes.
He's
can't
probably
sleep.
got got protective gear on.
Yeah.
He's wearing it. He might be wearing a helmet. I don't know.
So what you got for us there, Mal?
My inclination is to lean towards Steve, simply because the gun is going to be
So that's your
better than the hammer at range.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's going to be my answer
Steve.
for right now.
Steve, one vote for Steve. Bob?
You know what? In the game of musical stone, paper, scissors, I think a machine gun ready to go is going to trump some kind of device that you can buy at a big box hardware store. Was it really silver, or was it just really bad flaky chrome? You know, we don't know, right?
It's kind of a knife to a gunfight.
I think machine gun trumps this. I just think that the body count's going to be higher with Steve than it is with. As clever as Maxwell is, he can only get to so many people.
Well, so your vote is for Steve?
I'm
so
going
we now
for
have
Steve.
2 for Steve, 0 for Maxwell, and I'm getting ready to change the score because I'm going to let you guys know something. Mass shooters like this who start going, they're always felled. They are always felled in 20 minutes to an hour, right?
Death by cop sometimes.
Yeah, or they shoot themselves, whatever it's going to be, they're felled. Maxwell, there's no indication that he's ever caught, okay? No, Jack the Ripper was never caught, and we don't know how many cities.
No, they caught him. He got away.
We don't know how many cities he ever got to. And Maxwell is no different. He is sneaking into houses and killing people. And I'm going to tell you right now that kind of person, that's a very Clarice. Can you hear the lambs crying?
Oh, he's a psychopath.
Clarice? Yeah, he's absolutely
He's
a
a
psychopath.
psychopath.
And that means that I wouldn't put it past him to sneak into Steve's house and clink Steve on the head. I really do think that it's more maniacal, it's more frightening to have a mass killer who's going around in the secret of the darkness. I give the vote to Maxwell. It's Maxwell 1, Steve 2. Goes on to you, Chuy.
This is tough because I almost want to give it to Steve off the baseline alone, but I know we're not doing that. The machine, the automatic weapons, obviously, are going to be an advantage, but Maxwell seems methodical. I don't think you're going to catch him out in public when you're spraying. He's going to show up when you least expect it, and it's all going to be planned and part of his plan. I'm going to go Maxwell.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Tie.
Our very first tie. You'll have the opportunity to break the tie at Matt and Bob FM.
Wow.
But that means we're going to have to make a graphic. Ugh, I got to do work today.
No worries.
Son of a bitch.
I'll make the graphic. Yes.
If I'm going to teach you anything, if we're going to teach you anything, it's that you don't try to create extra work for yourself during the day, okay?
Oh.
Miguel, we're trying to teach you to skirt by in life, okay? That's how we've done minimum effort, maximum reward. I want you to put that on a t-shirt, and I want you to remember that. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
I do already have the drawings here if they want to use them.
Drawings what? What does that mean?
I have a drawing of Maxwell and I have a drawing of Steve. Although,
Wait, you've made your own drawings?
Yeah, I have the first 2 drawn here.
Can I see? Let me see what you've got here.
All right, give me
No, just hold it up. Just where you are.
Bob, color those in.
Ooh, Maxwell and a oh, this is good. This is good. So where do you do these drawings?
Well, I did these on the bus.
Hell yeah, these are bus drawings?
Yeah.
So basically what you're telling me is if I'm on the bus, I look over, I see you, a 6'7" oafish guy, and you're drawing pictures of guys holding machine guns blasting people?
He's not blasting people in the drawing, he's just holding it up. Also,
Ladies and gentlemen, can I tell you that our intern has put pure panic into the hearts and minds of other Cap Metro commuters.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, my man. I'm telling you right now.
Somebody's looking over your shoulder while you're sketching.
Somebody
this
has looked
stuff.
over and seen pictures of you drawing a bunch of murderers in a book.
Ideation, is that what they call that?
Robots, too.
They're like, oh, this guy isn't well. This guy isn't well.
Oh, no.
I'm getting off at the next stop.
What I drew here was Maxwell Smart holding a bloody hammer, and I drew Steve from Blue's Clues holding a machine gun.
Yeah, well, that's an issue. That's an issue because people are looking at you draw that. You're going to get turned in. You're going to get reported.
Oh, no. I swear, I didn't do anything.
Yeah. Here, what's next?
The next
what's
one?
next is for us to start headed to Breakville.
Oh.
And we're gonna have a match.
What's that?
We're gonna have a match after that.
We can do some more. Yeah, we probably need to do like 2 more. Well, why don't you set? Well, yeah, we gotta pop something else in here. But what are the next 2 that we're gonna have?
Okay, the next 2 are Cult of Personality by Living Colour and Jesus of Suburbia by Green Day. That's the next matchup. And then the match after that is kind of related. It's Pink from Pink Floyd's The Wall versus Tommy by The Who.
Great. Those are coming up, probably not just exactly ahead, but they are coming up this morning.
Oh.
Thank you. Oh, man. Mornings with Matt and Bob here on KLBJ FM. Look, I just read.
Hey, man, don't say that too loud. The word might get out.
Oh, people might hear where
people
we
might
are.
start. Yeah.
You'd be a lot less cool if people know you read.
Empowered by Chuy. The American dream of 2 kids, a house, and a car
Is that a dream?
now costs $3.4 million. Yeah, that's y'all's dream.
Does that include college or not include college?
Well, let's
I think
let's figure out what these metrics are. $3.what million?
$3.4 million.
Write that down. I will tell you that my gut instinct is that's not right.
You can add it up with me. Here we go.
Okay, because that seems a little.
Let's start with marriage. The average cost of a wedding and engagement ring, these are together, $35,000.
Yeah, do it 3 times.
Can we just say that that's stupid?
How much should it be?
How much
I'm
should it be?
I'm going to write down what your numbers and compare.
10,000.
For the ring and the wedding?
Yeah.
Bob, you agree with
Where
that?
are you? What? Wait.
How much for a ring and a wedding?
What
Bob?
did the article say? What did the article say was the total cost?
I'm going to hear from your answer, and then I'll tell you. A ring and a wedding.
A ring, probably 20 gur.
Okay.
Now, this depends. Now, if you've got a daughter, well, if your daughter, you have to pay. If you've got a son, the family of the daughter, by traditional arrangements, should have to foot the bill for the wedding. So it's going to vary. So I'm saying don't have daughters, Matt.
I mean, it's a simple question. How much for a ring and a wedding?
It's a simple question where Bob is involved. Bob, we're talking about how much you spend on a ring and spend on your own wedding.
You're paying for the wedding. How much?
You're not throwing the honeymoon in there?
No.
We're just going back home after the wedding?
No.
50 gur.
50 gur total?
Yeah.
Okay. And Matt said 10K.
Oh, he's a cheapskate. Look at that. Look at his truck. Yeah. He just doing it.
All right. Let's move on.
You have somebody in the family that's going to have a diamond. You ask for it.
Are we ready for...
You use some bubble gum to stick that to an older ring. Boom, now you got a ring.
How much is Kara's ring? That's uncouth. I can't ask that.
How much? I don't remember how much I spent on it, but I mean, I did. I gave her my great grandmother's diamond.
You're supposed to say how much did Cracker Jacks cost?
But I think she liked that because she's somebody who likes the idea of family and nostalgia and tradition and all that. So I thought that she would prefer to have my great grandmother's diamond, even though it's not the nicest diamond
So
in the
you
world.
lucked out not having to buy a ring.
Wow.
Sure. And then
Okay,
I got
so
married.
let's-
And then I got married in a backyard. I didn't have a venue. I got married in a backyard. We didn't do
Okay.
dinner or anything like that.
So you have a home. You were lucky.
Well, not my
Two
backyard.
plus.
We borrowed my parents' backyard to get married in.
Okay. So I'm going to go with Bob's.
Well,
Maybe
we
I'll
had a
average you
discussion.
two. I
My
think
wife
this is
and I-
correct. It says 35,000. Averaging you two guys, that's what it equals.
My wife and I had a
threw in the
discussion,
honeymoon.
and we didn't want to start We did not want to start with any debt in our relationship.
Right.
Okay.
You're not on trial here, man.
Yeah.
You're not. I'm just.
You're not on trial.
So our wedding and honeymoon together, acre.
All right. So let's move on to home.
Okay.
Home. The average lifetime cost of a home, including a mortgage,
Lifetime cost of a home. It's
including
important.
taxes.
assuming a 10% down payment and a 30-year fixed rate
What
at
about
7.2. Okay. 796,000. So we'll say 797 because it's pretty close.
Okay.
What are the tax rates?
How much do we agree with that?
Lifetime, but probably pretty close because you got to assume what? You're going to be in a house for 50 years?
I don't know. I'm not in the game at all. Y'all aren't keeping track of this? Bob?
Well, how long are you planning on living?
5 more years? 6?
If you live from 20 to 70, you're looking at 50 years, right? Mm-hmm. And you're saying 700 and how many? 700 what? I wrote it down somewhere. I can't find it.
797. K.
Let's just call it 800K because that's easier.
Sure.
800K divided by 50, that's a $16,000 per year cost. You divide that by 12, that's a home payment of $1,300 a month. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay. Bob, you agree with that? About 800K?
That's excluding upkeep and everything. That's actually pretty cheap. I'll go with that for sure. That
I think
sounds
people
great.
forgetting about taxes. What's the tax rate on a home? And your home goes up in value, and as your home goes up in value, your tax rate goes higher.
We may get to taxes in a little bit.
I'm just happy y'all are agreeing on something here. So
I don't know that we're agreeing. I think he's going to disagree. I mean, I think Bob will have a hard time agreeing with that because Bob...
He would say almost $1 million probably. 950
over the course of a lifetime.
Bob would go $2 million probably or more.
1.5.
Bob likes a house. Bob likes the home theater.
We'll keep it at 800K.
I like my guests to be entertained, Matt.
Are you not entertained?
I don't go out in a
Now we have 2 children. Bob has 3. You have 2.
Yeah.
For 2 children, this is hospital birth.
I know how to keep it in my pants.
Money grubbing.
A hospital birth. Out of pocket for those enrolled in a large group health plan. Mm-hmm. For 2 children, $5,700. That sounds pretty inexpensive.
That sounds low.
That sounds very low.
That sounds low.
Do you want to give a different number for your life?
I'd say $8,000.
$8,000.
Yeah.
All right, Bob?
I'd say $4K per kid. Easily.
Hospital bills?
Yeah. If you're
for 3 of your kids.
If you're in like the PPO or whatever.
5,000 per.
5,000 per. We'll say 15 for
unless
Bob.
you don't have any insurance at all. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
My first one was one cop. My second one was different because my dumb son wouldn't breathe when he was born, and he had to go to NICU and all that.
Right.
What a pain in the ass.
It's different for me because I delivered one of them.
Very inconsiderate of my son to do I don't want to breathe. Think how lazy that is. I'm not even going to put in the effort to breathe.
Day one.
Entitled from the beginning.
From the very beginning, I knew he was going to be a pain in the ass.
Let me keep going here. Car purchases. It says used car purchases over a lifetime. This includes buying 10 6-year-old cars lasting around 6 years each.
Yeah.
Would cost around $271,000.
Yeah.
In a lifetime.
Insurance.
Do we agree with that?
You know what my answer is going to be, right?
I understand how much you've spent.
Yeah.
But your family is also, and your children are about to turn age.
I'm driving a car that I've been driving for over 20 years. I spent $11,000 on. Yeah. So I'm going to probably not be in whatever the average is.
But you have a new van, and you have kids that are about to turn of age that you'll have to fix up the car for, and you're not going to buy one. I'd imagine that still is the cost.
You know that I already have my kid's car. It's sitting in my driveway. You've seen it.
And when are you going to drive?
What? No, my Subaru. I kept my old Subaru. I paid for that one outright.
That one doesn't have airbags. You going to put your kid on a road without airbags?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, give us the number for your cars and everything in a lifetime.
What is that? Why is he taking shots at me? I'm not taking shots at you. What's that all about?
Got to have some safety for your kids.
No, I don't. Hey, they got...
Guys, we're in the middle of proving Gen Z wrong that life is easy. Okay?
Hey, kids, if you don't want to get hurt in a wreck, don't have a wreck. Boom. See? That was easy.
All right.
How much lifetime cars go?
Per kid?
It says $270,000.
I don't know, man. Insurance is expensive. Tickets are expensive. I think that's steep, though, for per kid. That's expensive.
No, that's not per kid.
No, it's not per kid.
It's for the whole family.
Total
family.
Your lifetime.
I mean, Bob spent that much on one car, probably.
Yeah, $250,000 probably. Yeah,
okay.
I'll go with that.
All right, we'll say $250,000.
Yeah,
Just
that's
keep it
probably
nice
right.
around.
That's probably right.
You're going to say $250,000 for yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think on average, that's probably over a lifetime of a marriage with kids or whatever. $250,000 is spent on cars.
You know what? 50 years of life and
you got insurance. But yeah, it's you can easily do that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's move on down to pets. We both have pets. I know you do. Each live 15 years. Expect to pay between $34,000 to $100,000 in a lifetime.
On a pet?
I don't know. I have a cat. I spend $12 a week on him. So, you tell me, how much you think you're spending on your pets on a lifetime?
How much does a jar of peanut butter cost?
Yeah, I was going to say. I'm buying Old Roy at Walmart. So
is it anywhere close to $35,000 you think in a lifetime for your pets?
I don't think that I'll end up. Wait, that actually makes sense because a dog is easily going to cost $1,000 a year, and I'll have a dog
food?
when it's all said and done. On food, on medical bills. Think about it. That's all it's saying is $1,000 a year.
Yeah,
$20 a week.
Yeah,
per pet.
All right, that's easy. You're right.
30,
That's easy. That's very easy to
34,000.
spend. That sounds like a crazy number, $35,000.
Look, these are some experts here. Now we're moving on to health insurance.
That just got.
Over a lifetime, the
Please
average
tell me
family
Americans
premium.
are spending less on health insurance than they are on their dogs.
Health insurance costs add up to. This includes 39 years of current annual costs from ages 26 to 65. $934,000. That's almost $1 million in your lifetime.
39,000 over how many years?
No, 930,000.
No, I'm asking you. Oh, it's 30 over 39 years, right?
Yeah.
39 times.
I don't know. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't know how insurance works, so I'm going to recuse myself.
Well, I guess this includes checkups and things like that.
Yeah, and I'm looking at my out-of-pocket that I've been spending. I'm going to say 39. I come up with around $800,000. So yeah, that 900. Yeah, that works for sure.
Bob, you thinking around the same thing or more?
I'll agree with him. I don't know.
Is this making you all mad or frustrated?
Everybody's different.
No, I think what's upsetting is when you start to realize that we
shouldn't have.
That we stand in the streets and we yell and we scream that other countries are doing it wrong and that if you socialize medicine will kill us all or whatever, and then to hear that $1 million of your money goes just to an insurance company,
and you still gonna die.
And you still gonna die.
And you're still gonna die. Let's go to the next one.
And we still regularly have people that are made to be homeless because of medical bills. And now I'm just upset at the system.
Do y'all want me to add up y'all's totals and see where y'all are at so far?
While you're adding that up,
right now, as it stands, we haven't even gotten to everything. We're like 3 steps away from y'all's funeral. We have Matt at $1.8 million in his lifetime. God. And we have Bob at $1.9 million right now so far. Matt, you saved money on your marriage. So that's where the real savings started.
I'm not going to spend money on something I don't care about.
Thank you for sacrificing your wife's happiness just to have that little much more. Let's continue.
Hey, is it worth sacrificing your wife's happiness for a little bit of your own happiness?
That's the exchange.
And here's the thing. Who knows if my wife was unhappy or not? I've never asked her about her feelings.
Here's probably the most angering one. Raising children to 18. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's 2015 Expenditures on Children by Families report says the average cost of raising 2 children to 18. By the way, I don't think they stop being your children.
They stick around until 25, 30 now.
They should really raise that.
In the post-COVID world.
To 26 is where they should raise that. And I don't even think it's post-COVID. I think that's been going on.
My wife will not let me throw them out of the house at 18. She will not let me.
Pressure builds diamonds. It makes diamonds, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Diamonds and rust.
That's why Chuy's belt buckle's a diamond.
So let's go ahead and see how much it costs for your grubby little children. 2 children to the age of 18, $576,000.
That sounds about right.
Only to 18.
Yeah, no, because I remember hearing that it was around $250 per kid.
Yeah.
So with the inflation stuff, that seems not that crazy off.
All right. Well,
that's without any education costs.
Bob has 3 kids. Bob, you can give us whatever number you think. I'll add it to your account here. But I'm gonna do $575.
I can't.
But for 2 kids,
but 18 is the mystery. So you're kicking them out right after high school, right? So you're not paying for their college.
If you're lucky.
Right. You paid for their car, right?
Yeah.
Because we did that already.
We did that in there.
But this is mainly about costs. They're going to be like clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Boys are different than girls,
Toothpaste.
man. Girls are a lot more expensive than boys. My wife keeps reminding me that.
The Sephora tax. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Right? You got to go to Sephora. You got to go. I
don't think you're going over 700.
You got to go to Victoria's Secrets.
$700K. Sound about okay? You got 3 boys. So that's just the average plus a half.
I'm just going to go cool million and just be done with it.
Really?
Yeah, I will say, dudes, if you're young.
I'm going to do 900.
I mean,
And
how much
people
would you
will
have
tell
for
you-
a dog?
People will tell you out there, they'll say, hey, you got to look for beauty on the inside. But remember, you marry an Uggamug, she passes that on to your daughter, you got to pay that Sephora tax. It's going to be pretty brutal. So,
and now we are on to college. The cost of 1 year at a public in-state 4-year institution.
Oh, so we are going to include college in here.
I don't know if it's for your children, but I mean, it could be for y'all. For 2, oh yeah, it is for 2 children. It's $42,000.
Wait, for 4 years? Give me that.
It says the cost of 1 year at a public in-state 4-year institution for 2 children is $42,000. Why are they only going to go for 1 year? So,
well, they might be going for 2 years. Get that as I don't know.
Is it saying only 1 year?
It says the cost of 1 year at a public. Yeah.
But it doesn't add that up then? It's not. I mean, they may tell you that for 1 year, but they may be adding up all of that then.
Higher education may not be as prevalent in the average American as of today. So I don't know. Are y'all's kids going to college?
My kids have already gone. I've got one left. Well, I got one that's going to be a senior in the fall. And thank God he's at the University of Texas because that's relatively reasonable. Over at Eddie's place, I'm not going to say where, on South Congress. Mm-hmm. That university, holy cow. You want to talk expensive?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm going to go. It's minimum $100,000 per kid for 4-year education. Minimum if they can get into a state school.
Okay.
But if they go in private school,
$100,000 per kid.
Double that, maybe triple it.
So we'll give you $200K.
You've also got room and board. You can't just send your kid to school if that's what we're doing.
So sure,
and
you're
say
saying $400K.
You're not going to eat or live somewhere.
Only one of my kids is going to college.
I'm going to say 120 on average, 125 per kid. We talking? How many are we talking about in this study?
So we'll do 350. I'll do 375. Then.
Okay.
And did you pick which kid was going to college yet?
That doesn't even include books.
They have to battle it out. I'm gonna let them fight for
one of them
to go to college. Yeah,
I love a Hunger Games.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I probably will do it like how we do stuff for NASCAR tickets and stuff around here. I'll probably do a trivia contest.
Oh, we'll get Alex on a contest.
Yeah, we'll get. Hey, Alex, can you put together a trivia contest for my kids to go to college? Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. So, how much do you think you're going to spend on the one kid
when it's all said and done over the 4 years?
College.
And don't forget, your kid's got to be in the top 3% of their class to get into UT.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I send my kid to UT?
Because
that's expensive.
Because that's where you and I went.
So what?
You don't want at least one of your kids to go to UT?
Not at all.
To carry on the...
Come on.
I think college has become a scam.
Bleed
I'm sending
orange.
my kids to ACC.
Honor's worth the money.
Sending my kids to YouTube.
I've looked at what people are making, and I see the cars in my neighborhood that the guys that do HVAC and welding are driving, and I'm looking at my car that I drive, and they did it right. I'm gonna send my kids to HVAC Academy.
No, they're going to trade school.
How much are you spending on higher education, Matt, on your children?
$35,000.
Really? Okay. Wow. I'll put that down.
That's how much
I'll
chip in.
I hope I know you in like.
That's how much I'll
10
chip
years.
in. They can if they want fancy or whatever, they can.
I'm not judging you, and all of the working class people out there aren't judging you either. No. Bob might.
I don't judge.
We're not judging.
I don't judge
people. But yeah, I mean, I want my
$35K. That's still a lot.
He just wants somebody to work on his dumpy old truck.
Here's the thing:
how much his kids to work on?
All
his
I got
truck.
was my grandpa to co-sign a loan. That's all.
My son, who's got. My Spectrum son he's gonna get a scholarship probably. Mm-hmm. Like he can do a bunch of adding and stuff that I don't even understand. Right? He gonna be fine. My daughter, I really think by the time she gets to college, because we've been working on it every summer. I send her to OnlyFans summer camp where you learn how to do a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
She's gonna have an incredible account, and she's not gonna really need a lot of money for school at that point, right? Because she's gonna be earning the bills big time. That's the thing. I think Bob spent too many years sending his sons to baseball camp, and none of them turned out to be baseball players.
Didn't birth any cash cows.
Yeah, but I think my daughter on the OF gonna tear it up.
Let's finally settle down and retire. Gentlemen, you're going to need at least $715,000 saved if you plan to live off of 80% of your pre-retirement annual income, which experts recommend. And this was calculated by census.gov. Estimates for real median household income for 2022 and the average life expectancy of 76.4 for males and females.
Wait, we're only supposed to live to be 76 years old?
I don't know.
Man. what a
But
bummer.
apparently retirement, you're going to need $715,000. How close are you, gentlemen? Bob,
You asking me what's in my bank account?
No, he's asking.
how much are you expecting to have for retirement and wanting to save for your American
much do you
dream?
think
I
you'll
don't
spend?
think you can retire for less than $8 million.
8?
What? Jesus Christ.
I was not even going to write that
Retire
down.
for $8
I don't
million.
think you
doing?
can do it. You still have to play. You still have to pay property taxes. You still have health care costs. You've still got insurance you have to pay.
I'm putting $8 million down here. $8 million. You sound like Dr.
What do you want me to
Evil now.
drive around a 20-year-old truck?
How much do you want
What do you
for
want me to
retirement? $8 million.
Isn't retirement the time you're supposed to be going to Pebble Beach and playing golf and taking cruises and Hawaiian vacations? They say it's the. I don't believe it, but they say it's supposed to be the best years of your life. How are you going to have the best years of your life on less than $8 million?
I had a stroke at 50. The best years of my life are way behind me, dude. I'm going to need enough
it
money
used
for
to
a
be
walker
4.
and a drool rag,
4
probably.
won't get you anything.
4
gets
won't
you
get you-
nothing.
What are you talking
it gets
about?
You nothing at the end of the day.
This is wild.
Especially if you live to be 80 or 90.
I bet I could retire today if I had $4 million in the
Bro,
bank.
y'all give me
With
50K.
zero
I'll-
income coming in.
Tesla
Yes.
Dan, you give me 50K. I'll quit right
I know
now.
you say that, man. I know you say that.
I don't have a huge lifestyle to upkeep.
Especially if you want to stay in Austin, the city limits.
No, not when I retire. I'm over here because I'm in my 30s.
But you didn't say that.
Can I ask you a question?
Where am I
An
going?
honest question.
Am I going to Topeka?
Okay.
Where am I going? I might shave a couple million off of that.
What if you retire in Mexico? You could probably really retire off of less
My
than $1 million.
season tickets alone for Austin FC are probably $250,000. I don't even know.
So $8 million. We'll put.
If I'm staying in Austin, yes. If I'm inside
can
the
I
city
say something?
limits.
Here's what I want to say.
Yeah.
If you have $8 million and you assume just 6% growth on that $8 million, which
Yeah.
is pretty low, okay?
Yeah.
You could get that hell, you could almost get that in a savings account right now. You assume just
Right now.
Okay.
But it
Then-
always hasn't been that way.
Then you assume full short-term gains.
Yes.
So you're taxing yourself at the highest level. You still would have $335,000 a year in cash in hand.
Damn.
What kind of life are you looking to live?
Austin, Texas life.
335 grand
Food
per
truck.
You
year.
don't live in Austin. This is your life.
$400 dinner life.
So
You're
when you,
still doing that
I
at
don't
80?
set the prices. I don't
are
like
you
it.
planning on staying in Austin when you retire?
At 80, you're going to shuffle to the taco
Well,
trucks
he didn't
over
say.
here?
He didn't qualify it.
How much is your retirement?
I'm telling
You said it
we
would
know
take you
somebody.
$8 million
Ideally.
to retire.
We know somebody that had $4 million, no kids, retired. They had to go to somebody. Not we. I say the show knows, not my family. They had to move to New Braunfels to make that work.
Yeah, that's where I would
Okay.
probably be going.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be
Wouldn't
around all
stay
this
in
riffraff.
First of all, in Austin, all three of us are already dinosaurs. Okay?
I don't know.
Speak for yourself.
No,
Yeah, I
not
don't-
me. Maybe you.
Yeah, you. Oh no.
This is a town for
Listen,
people
I
who
wanna
are
be-
in their 20s
I want to be
and
damn
sticking it
sure.
in.
I say 8 million because I want to be damn sure. Because I know 10 years ago it was 4 million. 3 to 4 million. To maintain, that lifestyle you're talking about, house, 3 kids or whatever. I'm not talking about
Okay.
mansions or anything like that. I'm not talking about country clubs. I don't have any of that stuff.
Okay.
I don't even live in a gated community. But I want to be damn sure.
What could
I don't
come
want
up
to. I
that
don't want to
would-
cut it. What can come up?
That would
Do you
cost
know
you,
what
$8
one night
million.
in the hospital costs?
What are you going to
What-
crash a spaceship? What is $8 million?
Dude,
Why are you getting mad at us? We don't know. Teach us.
I am
In my
teaching
mind,
you.
in my mind,
You know that old Eddie Gosling joke? Like I want to be I want to work for NASA. I could be the funniest guy in NASA
if it wasn't for math.
if it wasn't for math.
And they say,
I'd
"Hey,
be like,
Eddie, how
hey,
much gas
we're going
does
to
the
the
space
moon.
shuttle
How much
need?"
gas should we put in the space shuttle?
And he says, "Carry the 4," and then he says, "I got filler up." What do you got?
the same with your bank account. I got filler up and be sure.
Okay.
Unless you're going to try to time it out to the penny.
I think my generation has really learned to just live with the anxiety of all that stuff.
So you're never going to vacation when you retire?
I'm never going to make them $8 million, I can tell you that. I don't.
Well, that's a great way of looking at life.
Yeah, you prick.
Does everybody out there plan on making $8 million? And tell me, I'll do everything you're doing.
Hey, Look,
you gotta manifest
I'm with
it.
Bob. I would love to have.
You got to manifest it.
Yeah, but where am I supposed to charge all the crystals for this? Okay,
Where's the poster board? I'm supposed to tape
You
things
got to
too.
make a vision board.
How can I let the full moon charge my manifestation board if there's an eclipse every 5 weeks?
I just want to be safe. We don't know in the future if we're going to have to buy a bunch of bullets or what. We don't know what.
How are you going to be? You're not going to be safe if you have $8 million. All
right. Will you feel better if I say 4? If I give you?
I'm going to tell you what right now. You know why you won't be safe if you have $8 million? Because I'm going to break in your house and I'm going to kill you in the middle of the night and take your money, dude. That's why.
Keep any money in there. What are you?
Do you feel financially insecure right now?
Yeah, I always have.
So this is a psychological thing.
100%. You know that. You know that.
So it has nothing to do with actual money you have. It's a psychological thing.
No, because I think of the future,
for.
and I spend my time, right?
Right.
While Matt tries to figure out how to keep his 20-year-old truck running, I spend my time trying to futurize, trying to be future-proof. I want to be future-proof. Okay?
Future.
And so you go, okay, what could happen? What could happen with the next president? Or what could happen if this country goes to war with this country? Am I going to have to buy bullets to protect my home?
No, we're all moving to New Braunfels. We'll be fine.
You know? And you want to take an occasional vacation would be nice when you retire and that's not cheap.
Bob would do well.
I mean, what are you, Matt, honestly, what are you saying you would want to have in the bank at the age of retirement where you no longer have any income coming in?
$2.2 million.
You could probably make that work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Think you'll be able to keep your wife happy at that? Because she likes to cruise?
What kind of extravagant needs does she have at 80? Pass me the remote? I don't want to get up?
She lives in 2 states.
Okay, so let's add everything up here because we're running out of time.
No.
Hey, we are at past.
We're going to add $8,000 for the funeral. Bob? Well, let me get Matt's first, I guess. Bob, you're sitting at $11.1 million to live your American dream.
May have already spent it for all I know. I don't know.
You didn't give me how much you think for retirement.
Life is expensive.
I just told him $2.2 million because I thought he would go away.
You put the 0.2 in there just to make it look like he calculated
Y'all
it.
need way more than what the average is. Yours is like 3.9.
But it all depends on the part of the country you're in.
You're 11 million. They say 3.4 million, and we thought that was crazy.
Depends on your lifestyle.
The American dream is dead.
Oh, it's dead.
It's dead.
It's dead.
It's just expensive.
It's just taking a nap.
American dream is dead.
I don't know. I've always been, as I've met with financial people over the years, and they go, they ask you, they always ask you that same question. You go in there, and they want to talk about retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guys.
I don't want to talk about retirement. Just tell me I can make the most. Tell me I can make the most amount of money, and I'll make retirement work.
For the third day in a row, we're going to lose this next quarter hour. We got it. We're never going to make this quarter hour.
Where are we going?
Next, Evo. That's what you need. You need some stress formula because I can see you shaking over there.
Right.
You're somehow you got to come up with $11 million in the next couple of weeks.
I know.
Are we all okay in here?
Yeah, I'm glad we all have an understanding.
Really, did you feel like all of a sudden like a weird depression come over the room during that break?
Yeah, it's daunting, and sometimes I have to put like an ostrich. I have to put my head in the sand and not think about it because it's daunting. I don't remember my parents talking about these things.
Well, I don't think for a long time people did talk or think. I mean, remember this. The idea of retirement is brand new. People never retired.
Retirement the 80s are probably the first time it was talked about.
I think I think when people started putting together labor unions, things like that, they started developing this idea of retirement and a middle class. That did not exist until the 1900s.
You mean anti-business groups?
Until the 1900s, the idea of you just always assumed you would work until you died. There was no idea of retirement.
That's the real American dream.
Or in some cultures, you would start to shift your work to housework and work around the home and caring for children so the next generation could go out and bring home food and stuff, right?
Right.
So in some cultures, old people aren't kicked to the curb. You live in the house with your children and their children, and that's how you start to take care of yourself in your older age. Is you can't work a day. You be a workaday fool, so you end up doing stuff around the house, helping cooking, cleaning, stuff like that, so that your kids can go out and earn, and you would look after their children. So that would take away. I mean, one of the things that they didn't even mention in that stuff right there is the cost now of childcare. So if you're working, for a while, my wife stopped working because it was actually, it cost when we did the math, that we realized it cost us about $100 for my wife to be at home taking care of the kids. Plus, she got the joy of being at home with the kids.
Right.
And it only cost us about $100 more a month than it would have had she been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what she was bringing in working wasn't really covering the cost of childcare. Is insane, dude.
After walking both of you guys through that, are you still gatekeeping maturity in the sense of, you got to have the house, the spouse,
gatekeeping
and the
maturity?
kids?
Explain that.
Yeah, you said people can't really grow up until they do all that. Men, really. And some of us are choosing not to do that, and I don't know if it's financial.
I said I couldn't grow up until, and I feel like for me that that making a family is what changed my life. It's not a secret. I've talked about it before. I made 2 attempts on my own life when I was younger and single, and it's because I was living in complete and total chaos, and it didn't work for me and my brain. And you know what works great for me?
Yeah.
Is the immense sense of purpose I have with my family.
Right. I've always said that 1 and 1 equals 3. In other words, and I stole that from a thing that Bruce said one time in a concert. But 1 and 1 equals 3, and that when you...
He's
and
also
I'm not
said
saying
born in the USA.
I'm not saying you should go out and get married just for the sake of getting married.
Right.
But when you do find someone that you love and you become this partnership, it's romantic, sure, but it's also, in some respects, a business proposition. So there were times in my life... Well, let's say it was times in my wife's life when maybe she wasn't bringing home the bacon, or times were tough for her, but I was doing okay, and we were able to survive. We didn't have to go on the street because one of us was doing okay and helped provide for the other. The reverse can happen. Or you can both be doing okay at the same time, or you can both not be doing. But at the end of the day, I feel like two people can make a better run at a business of
so
life.
So both of your marriages were based on survival?
No, I'm not saying that.
I mean, you can look at it that way if you want to.
Saved your
No,
lives.
you can. It did. Here, look. But I used to frustrate my parents because of the way I chose to make a living and make my way in life.
You shamed their name, yes.
It was not a traditional way to do it, and I think I scared the living S out of my parents. They weren't married, but I'm sure they had conversations behind my back. And it's because I know for both of my parents loved me, right? Mm-hmm. Because of the support they've shown me over the years. But I know they also panicked because, I technically was homeless at times in my life. I had a roof over my head, but I didn't have a home. You know what I mean by that?
You might have been sleeping on a couch or something.
Yeah, I was staying at other people's houses.
Yeah.
There were times I slept in a car because of the way.
Friends.
But I was trying to do something for myself. But it's easier to do when you're single because you're more nimble, and saying I can't feed myself tonight because I don't have money is way different than saying I can't feed my kids tonight because I don't have money. It's a very different feeling.
So you have
different feeling.
Different drive then.
Yeah. But telling your kids you all need to go without because I have a dream is not a place that I would be comfortable. It changed the way. I went from being a stand-up, which I loved.
Wasn't good at it, but he loved it.
Well, eventually we'll get rid of all government assistance and we'll have all the kids starving.
I was never on government assistance.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I've never been in a line.
I love doing stand-up, and it's the only thing I ever really wanted to do. And I had worked my ass off, and I had gotten good at it. But I had kids and realized that the amount of time I had to be on the road to make a living would not make me a good father. So I gave that up and did something that makes me miserable, which is radio.
Right.
Sure.
And I did that as a
sacrifice. Which is the mature choice you have to do when you have kids.
But I will say this, and that used to frustrate me because my father would get gruntled. No, disgruntled. He wasn't gruntled. He was disgruntled. And he would talk about the things that had to be done. And I remember thinking at my time, I was like, but your life is different. And it turns out that I was right in this one category. Most places my father was right, but in this one I was right, which is now that I'm married, I realize when you have a partner that's helping you with the homework, whatever that be. And I don't mean just like dishes and stuff. I mean just trying to do life. Having someone who goes, oh, I have a little break. I can pick that up or I can do that. It's way easier.
I think I'd like you as a
easier.
partner in the sense that I want someone to do all the bills. I think that's how my grandfather and my grandmother did it. And it's like, here's the check, make sure all the stuff.
My wife has looked me in the face before and said, I don't derive any joy. I hate the finance stuff. Hate it.
Well, I think everybody
And I've
does.
said, but I think that you will be more comfortable in life, won't you? If you know what your situation, I would hate to be a wife and go, I don't know where our money is, how much money we have, because I would think that would mean that, well, if I find out that my husband is cheating on me, who am I? Do I get dumped on the, like, I would think I'd be so insecure. My wife has said, I believe that you're taking care of us and the family. I trust that every morning. I just don't want to deal with it. She's a mathematician. It's odd because I would think she'd love it because it's numbers.
Well, I guess you don't want work at home.
She's also just said, well, it's because when you start talking about this stuff, my brain turns off. It's stupid.
Yeah, if you had to tell jokes at home, would you want to do it out at work somewhere, you know?
I guess.
think that's kind of get that. But that's what I need. I'd like that. I hate the numbers and the bills, and it would just make me mad knowing how much is spent wherever.
Do you want me to start going through your finances?
Yeah, I'd love to see you cry.
I wouldn't cry. I'd help you. Or I wouldn't help you. I'd say you're doing it right. I don't know.
Or you might say, well, this is about as good as it gets, I guess.
Probably.
I think that's where we would end.
You probably would end up with, you know what? That's where you're going to be.
Enjoy that extra meal you're having, sir. I won't judge you anymore.
Yeah, that's probably where we would end up. I tease you sometimes about choosing stuff, but you know that I actually think that you're making it the best that you can because you're in an.
I have nothing. There's no safety net. There ain't no. There's no inheritance. There's not gonna. There's nothing. And I think, like I said, pressure builds diamonds, Bubba.
Tell me about it.
And I know y'all don't compared to y'all or anybody else out there. I'm not considered a success, but where I come from, I'd say I'm okay.
I think a lot of people would still consider you. That's another dangerous thing we do to each other is that we use. A lot of times we use consumer.
Bob just said he needs $11 million.
Well,
I said 8.
He also admitted that he lives with stress and panic at all times. I think that's where that comes from.
Because I've seen too many stories of people winning lotteries and losing it all in a year.
I'd love to.
It could happen.
I would do that.
I love that you say it with such pride. Chewy's like, God, I'd love to do that. I would love to.
You can say you lived. You can say I went to heaven.
Except most of it's consumerism. And I will tell you this. COVID was really good for learning this. There is nothing I can consume that brings me great long-term joy.
Well, I can't hear you over my Phantom revving up.
What's the Phantom?
It's a Rolls-Royce car that you can drive.
Oh, the Gray Ghost. Isn't it Gray Ghost?
They got a Ghost, too.
But that's only going to bring you joy for about 2 or 3 weeks, and it starts to diminish. That's what I've learned. It falls off the joy that purchases can bring you.
I wouldn't get a Phantom.
And my hippy-dippy dumbass wife drilled it into my head for a long time.
That's why you can say that.
She can't hear me. She doesn't even hear the sound of my voice anyway. This freakish, lefty-loosey, hippie,
Dave Matthews fan,
libturd,
tattooed idiot of a wife I have. She kept trying to say to me, you should stress a little less about the money and stuff and stress a little more about the time you spend with your kids and your wife. And I was like, what good does time do when we're sitting around and we can't eat? And she's like, yeah, but we can eat, so just chill out about that. And it turns out during COVID, when we couldn't go anywhere and I had to face my own effing children and my wife and just do dumb stuff like play. I know the sound, it's not cool at all, but just play games with them and stuff.
Oh, I had to eat dinner with them.
Yeah.
Guess all of them. They were all home from college. They were all.
There is more long-term joy in my life now than there ever has been, and it came from spending time with them and continuing to spend time with them. It pays off better, and it's. I know, and guess what they'll do? They'll do the same. They'll do the same tragic thing I've done to my parents, who call me and say, "Let's hang out, let's do stuff."
Cats
and I'm back. I'm back to right where they were, which is I don't have time because last night I got home at 7:30 at night. That's when when things kind of wrapped up was 7:30 at night, and then I think, well, it's 7:30, and then that just happens, and then you start, and then you feel guilty. I'll call my dad today.
We'll
we've been
get
trying to get together.
together
We've been trying to get together for
then
2 months. He lives in the city.
You know, we'll have a
I got
good
one
time
in track.
there.
I've got one over here doing taekwondo. And I'm just like,
Honk.
he's nice and understanding, but it pisses me off about myself.
Oh, we all have
If I'm
those
feeling this
regrets.
joy with my kids, I realize I'm depriving my own father of that same joy by not spending more time with him. And I guess what the truth is, I know that my kids will probably do the same cruel thing to me, and they'll want to spend time with their families.
Cats in the cradle.
And the silver spoon, little boy blue.
In
and the
conclusion,
man on the moon.
I think we've discovered that this was fairly accurate. 3.4 million.
When you said it, I
for
thought
the
you were
American
nuts.
dream of
I thought
horror
that was.
story.
I thought it. But when we started going through it, I was like, I guess so. I did the math too. You can make if you make around $35,000 a year your entire life, you're still putting $2 million in the bank.
After taxes?
Taxes is still part of the cost. What do you mean after taxes? You're making around $2 million when it's all said and done.
But a portion of that is going to taxes.
Well, when you did this count, a portion of all you just said that a portion of your life, over $3 million, is going to expenses. Taxes is still just an expense.
Okay, it just wasn't listed here, so I'm assuming they're going by net income. But knowing that, how many of you think that the American dream, how many Americans is it available to now?
I think the
You're going to
American
get mad at my answer, but
Yeah.
I think
you
it's
think everybody.
The American dream is one of the great American swindles of all time.
No,
It's
no,
one
no.
of the great.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it is. What does that mean? What is a dream? Dream is.
It's just what they said.
Is in
House,
the eye of the beholder.
2
I don't know
kids.
what a dream
I
is.
think the American dream is available to 100% of people.
Because it's a dream.
But I think that only 10% of people will ever actually get to get it.
And why is
Are you
that?
saying dream is happiness? A state of happiness?
Well, that was supposed to be it. The pursuit of happiness. Happiness.
That you have. You can pursue it.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Now, the American
get
dream
there.
of a car and a house is harder because what we want from the American dream has changed. The average American house that we lived in was 800 square feet, and a household had one car. That's where we started.
One toilet.
We've now moved up to, I want a 4 or 5 bedroom house. I want a flex room. I want 2 cars, plus my kids should have car. We've changed what the American dream is and
I'll
what we
settle for
expect it to be.
2-1. That's what I grew up in.
But
So-
we've also, our
so why
brains are
won't-
all broken when we live in a city like this, because I can take you to another city where you can have the American dream right away.
But it won't feel like a dream at all.
It will. When you live around that many people on meth, it will seem like a dream.
And
a terrible,
I get
terrible
my groceries
dream.
from the Dollar General because
Right.
a grocery store is 30 minutes away.
Hey, nobody said that the American dream was plush.
Having a grocery store is plush. But you say 10% it's available to? Why won't the 90% get it?
Get what, though? We
Oh,
haven't
it's just right, it's just
quantified
right.
The
a dream.
average American life
But
that
we
we
haven't
dream of.
quantified what a dream is.
There's a lot of reasons.
It's what this lists: a house
think-
and 2 kids, college, and cars.
I think for 50% of people, they won't get the American dream because of fear. I know that's the thing that I've allowed
Or that
to
it's
keep me
never enough.
from ever doing stuff is that taking any chances or doing the things that you need to do. I've been driven by fear. That's what keeps me from getting to a lot of places.
Interesting.
Okay, fear has been
cryptic.
huge for me.
Right, me too.
Very cryptic.
Risk adverse.
Well, how's that cryptic?
Because it's not a.
You can't make
it's not an
money
answer
without
that's-
risk.
So people need to be investing. Because people don't invest in stock markets and take risks in businesses. That's why they won't make it.
How come you haven't switched jobs yet?
Because I will be broke and I won't find a job. Number one, probably as easy.
Okay, what I'm hearing is doubt and fear. So
That's
you're
fear.
you're
No, this
using
is
fear.
reason.
That's that-
Why,
but
why
but
is
some
fear,
people would
why
say-
is reason seen as fear? I feel like we're trying to actually preserve life and
But why are you assigning a worth on yourself where someone that you might go interview with?
Do you think 50
Sees
Cent was
more
driven
wor-
by fear? That guy was selling drugs, then he was putting out mixtapes, then he put out vitamin water, and now he's a
Let's
billionaire.
talk about
shoot me
let's
9
talk about
times.
your favorite artist. What's his name? What's the guy? New guy.
New guy.
Yeah, the guy.
Oh, Bruno Mars. That's his favorite artist.
No, the new guy. The newest guy.
don't-
Jelly Roll.
Okay.
Why would you do that to him, dude? That's...
Why is that my guy now?
I thought he was. I thought you were a Jelly Roll fan. I know somebody that's a Jelly Roll fan.
No, you
You're
don't.
confusing
There's
your two
no
friends.
way
I
you
don't
know
know.
anybody who's a Jelly Roll fan.
Yeah.
Oh, we have
He's
to
like
go?
the new
Yeah, we gotta
Everclear,
go.
right?
I even got to get rid of this.
New
one.
Everclear.
I don't think so.
Huh?
I'm not sure who's informing you.
Well, what is he? He's rock, right?
You heard him. I haven't listened to him. Here we go.
Tell me. What? Oh, go ahead.
I'm just going to clarify. You said like the matches were this morning, but we don't have any time, so I'll tell you. It'll be next time or whatever. Yeah.
I have no idea what you just said, Al.
If you take anything away from the show,
if you take anything away